Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings, where I will ramble on for a good 3 hours as normal. I will tell you my wonderful weekend, what we have going on, what I did last week, what I have coming up. You'll see that I'm trying to let the goatee grow in again for some odd reason, and it looks strange. Had I not pointed out, maybe you guys wouldn't have even noticed, but maybe you would have. Anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, including the G.I. Joe fan stream, which please, if anyone's in the chat, if it shows up, please let me know if it has been postponed another month like it was last month, because once again, it seems like their property is the one thing they tend to put on hiatus more often than we would like. And again, before anyone gets into it, I've already explained the reason why that kind of gets put on the back burner, but it doesn't change the fact that they could easily be doing a live stream a little bit. Well, they're not even live stream; they're fan streams, right? Let's be honest; they are pre-recorded. So, anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I had an interesting weekend. I guess I wouldn't say a great weekend at all. A stressful weekend. So anyway, as for the weekend, it started out pretty good. We did Punk's Pit, and we went for 5 hours. I sent a link out to Action Figure Attic 112. He jumped on for the first time. It was great to have Kyle on. I chatted with him over with on Same Time Toys. So he was in most of the time. Fun guy, 26 years old. So it's nice to get some young people into the community, into our into this collecting, so it can continue to go on a little bit longer. And then let's say, Saturday, my front brakes came in, which I hadn't planned on them. Thought they were going to come in later on. I was going to have to figure out when to do them. My brakes had been, let's just say it was time to be done. Way time to be done. And I don't drive my car all that much because I have a work vehicle and that's what gets driven. So we spent a good amount of time putting the brakes on. I was showing my son the best that I could. It started pouring halfway through. It only rained for like 5 minutes and it poured. Then we went back out, finished it. I drove it around, and yet I still heard the noise. Actually, it sounded kind of worse, which didn't make me feel good because it was going to get cold again, which meant I had to take them off. But I knew that they were working. So anyway, the next day, I took it out again. And as I was driving, I heard a huge bang from the back as I was going to return something from Amazon. And I'm like, I didn't do anything in the back. And I got to the UPS store to return it. And as I got out and I looked at my car, I went, why does it look like it's sagging in the back? And sure enough, I looked at the on my side, and I could tell it seemed low. And then I looked at the passenger side, and it's an all-wheel drive Dodge Journey, so they sit up a little bit higher. The wheel well was pretty much flushed with the tire, which probably means I blew a fucking shock somehow. And I'm just like, this wasn't in the budget. This was not in the budget. It's still not in the budget. Luckily, I had my work vehicle, so I drove home, and I'm just like, it's parked in the overflow lot, and now I'm just stressed out about something else that I don't need to be stressed out about. But because of it, and not only because of it, but it just kind of gives me a reason to finally maybe do some stuff. So I've been meaning to want to take some stuff out, put it on, either eBay, but then I thought, what, maybe I'll ask you guys. If anyone is interested in Valiverse stuff, hit me up. I have a lot of the figures. I have Kill Switch, Desert Rat, I can't even think of all their names. I still have the boxes. I have to figure out where all the weapons are because they're kind of mixed and mashed. But if anyone is interested in some of the Valiver stuff, hit me up. I'll see if I have it. We'll look on eBay, see what the price is, and then kind of figure something out. Because obviously, if I'm selling it, if eBay's selling for a certain price, I can go a little bit lower because, well, there's no fees. And again, you guys might be able to get something that you want a little bit cheaper than what you were looking for. So hit me up if anyone is interested. If I don't hear from anyone, then, you know, I'll probably just go up on eBay next week along with some other stuff. I also have like the first 5 Sorzork Warriors. They've been sitting in a box. I just haven't wanted to take the time to do it. Selling on eBay can just be, it's exhausting and time consuming. So if anyone is interested, please hit me up. You can hit me up on Instagram. You guys know how to get a hold of me. So, but yeah, like I said, I have all the boxes, all their points. Nothing's been cut out. It is finding all the weapons, though. That's the biggest thing because they have been mixed and mashed. Also, the hands. I have to go to the base of Valor hands. There's also a box of Valor hands that I have. But anyway, if anyone is listening or anyone watching that is interested, please let me know because someone's got to fix the car. I'm still planning on getting to Joe Fest, but I tell you what, this has put a huge wrench into it. So, Ed, don't cancel your single room because I still have to figure all this stuff out. So anyway, that was how the weekend went for the most part. I mean, that's not what you want, but we did watch a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. My daughter is just like determined. She's determined to get through it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we'll get to this before you leave for college in 2 years. And she's like, we'll be done. I'm like, we'll see. Because I think we're starting season 6. Buffy just died. Spoiler alert. Just died again. So we're going into season 6. And I also think it's beginning season 3 of Angel, which is an awful lot. Man, there's so many episodes to get through. But again, I think the best part is that she is ready to watch it. She is the one bugging me to watch it. And then when I come up here to do stuff, she goes right back to watching Criminal Minds, which she's been watching a lot of. Anyway, let's say hi to the chat. 52 people watching. I've seen up to 54 already. Please, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't hit subscribe yet. It goes so much further than anything else. It is the best way to support the channel because it tells Instagram, it's not Instagram, anything. It tells YouTube that people are watching. So anyway, we have Stanley Everhart in here. We have Machine Man. We have GI Bro, who has the best guns in the business. We have Christoph Scuba. We have US Combat Dojo, Mr. Mad Gus. We have Plastic Fantastic, who is printing some of the best 3D printed stuff out there. Matthew Matson, my first moderator. We have David R. Viper Scout, who thank you for joining us also this week. And he's always on. What's it called? Punk's Pit. Snow Wolf, 3-star draw, who I have to address quickly while we have him here. 3-star, I asked a question because 3-star had been saying, I don't have any Jada figures. And all of a sudden, he has a bunch. And he said, well, it's 4 a bunch. Well, when you go into the weekend having none and then you end up having 4 taking pictures, then yes, 4 is a bunch because it means you went out and bought them all right away rather than picking one up in a timely manner like we had told you numerous times. SCS Dog is here. We have a Liquid Identity coming in from Canada. We have Mendoza here. Payne's Toy Samples. MTC. I don't know where the S came from. Action Figs, who I did get your package today. Olivia is not here this weekend, but I will let her know that her card is sitting there. We have Norcal Voodoo saying, good evening, fellow figure addicts and plastic junkies. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. We have Michael Gene Fleming jumping in here. Whew. We have Sabir Del Natorte. I think I said that right. Cobra Commander, Punisher, Bill. We have Tony's Figs, who I haven't talked to in like, I think I talked to him yesterday. There's a lot of people here now. Joe Fan 84, Johnny Reno. I think these are beers, and as we know, I don't drink beer, so I hope those are all for you. Action Figure Addict 112, who I said was on with us Friday. Great to have him here. He's fun. He's fun. So Jay Astro 319. I don't think I've ever thrown in 319 at the end, but I wanted to this time. Woodman 29. We have Clint Jorgensen. I don't care if it's supposed to be Jorgensen. We pronounce it Jorgensen here. Derek Holloman. Woo. We have Mother Slug. We have not Rachel Salinas. You need to get your own YouTube. And just call it Not Rachel. We have the Shark 110. And then we have Anestitu? I don't know. We're going to call you Anestitu. I don't know. Great to have you. It all looks familiar, but that name does not look that familiar. So anyway, give me 1 second here. All right. So anyway, like I mentioned, if you're interested, I already have somebody. Actually, I saw GI Bro already messaged me about the Valaverse stuff, so he gets first pick. But if you are interested, hit me up, please. It's stuff that I can get rid of and that I don't need. And if someone else wants it, a lot of it's sitting in boxes. I just got to put a lot together. And that's Mr. Mad Gus. We have Shark Guys here. Hey guys, Shark Week here. Just your friendly neighborhood shit-starting poster. Punk, I'm enjoying the Facebook page a lot, as you can probably see. Well, I'm glad you are. That's what it's there for. I should mention that we do have a Facebook page. Punks, what is it? Punks with Toys? Punks on Toys? Something like that. Just have to answer a couple questions. If you don't answer the questions, we just kick. We don't even accept you. Kudos Garage jumping in here saying, digging the Joe reviews you've been doing. Keep up the good work. Are you talking about the classic reviews of the O-ring stuff, or are you talking about the classified? Because unfortunately, there haven't been enough classified to satisfy me, but that's understandable. The O-ring stuff. Oh boy, I have so much O-ring stuff. So much O-ring stuff to get through. So anyway, as you mentioned, this week I did drop for the classic reviews, the O-ring stuff. Major Blood, the Hiss Driver, and the Hiss. People really seem to like the vehicles, which is awesome. And thank you. Again, like, it's a way to create content and also a way to go over stuff that I've been sitting on, that I'm looking at, and being able to go over it with a different eye. And also look at it and do a review with the style that I do reviews now. So I'm enjoying it. They also go by pretty quick, so I'm not going to complain. Ronnie Trickshot is here, and my mouse died. So we grab my backup mouse. An Action Figure Addict saying Punk's Pit was extremely fun, and you know what? For that, you're gonna get a. So anyway, this week I have Duke coming out Wednesday, CoverGirl coming out Saturday, and then the Wolverine coming out on Sunday. And the Wolverine and CoverGirl are my original. A matter of fact, the 3 that I did last week are all my original. Those are all original stuff that I had as a kid. So the one thing you're really setting that I see when it's something that it was mine as when I was a child, you could kind of see what I tended to play with a lot, and maybe what sat in vehicles because they didn't get a lot of use. But I think that's kind of to be expected, isn't it? I might have some new Top Fun retro weapons to review. John was supposed to send me out some. Yes, if anyone is wondering, I am a complete Top Fun shill. He sends them out to me so I can do reviews. So I am 100% honest. I do not pay for them, but I will give you my honest opinion. And I give him my honest opinion because that's what he wants so he can get them better. And hopefully I'll get a couple Mythic Legions into. I'm expecting the horse and the knight that rides on the horse. I don't know their names, and I probably couldn't pronounce them even if I did know them. But Hello Dope Toys did send them out. So if you are looking for the Four Horsemen stuff of the last wave, go over Hello Dope Toys. Use my code APWT. See if you get the 10% off. I think you do, but I'm not positive. But again, everybody wants some Mythic Legions. So get over there and order some. We got Just Jeff jumping in here, and we got Skunk Works Studios. And then look at this, Allison Troy. She has not been in here. She's usually not here this early anymore. So it's great to see you early. And you and I, we need to get together about May the Power of the Force. We are doing, if anyone that watched May the Power of the Force, we reviewed Power of the Force figures from 95 all through the month of May. This year, we're going to be doing the prequels of the 118th figures. So old stuff, nothing new, because we can get them cheap. It's able to get some people just to enjoy, jump in this weird little project that we started up last year. And again, maybe it gets people out of their shell to try and review something for the first time. And again, you just do it in your own style. Again, you can buy a figure for $5 or $10. I think most of us can afford that. Even guys with broken shocks in their rear. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and then we have Checkpoint Alpha jumping in here saying, "What's up, my dudes?" And Allison saying, "We do need to figure all that out." I can't. This weekend, I'm going to make a Facebook page. It'll be easier to monitor and communicate with most of the people, because most everyone has Facebook that way. Because that's what they did for the Cobra Convergence, and I thought it worked really well. So we will get to that. Anyway, I gotta say thank you to Ed. He finally sent out my daughter's birthday card. Now, of course, she's not here, but he also sent me out some cards. So the first one is this Elf packaging. I'm not sure it's open, but I'm not sure if it was ever opened. And then a stack of G.I. Joe cards, which I haven't even had a chance to go through. So I don't know if they're all here, but I do know that I have a bunch of G.I. Joe cards that when my father-in-law, when he was apartment manager, I think he found some in one of the apartments that they evicted someone or they left or whatever. So he gave them to me. So I'm gonna have something else to go through and look at. So Ed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's little things like this that I think are just super cool. And then Tony's figs. Are you here right now? Oh, look, there's Tony's figs right there. What is that puke for? Before we get into that, the Elf card. Let's gonna open it up here. Now, there's no gum in it, so I don't think this. I think these might have been already open because of how it is. Not that I care. I love the thoughts on it. Look at this. We got Elf and Willie. Let's have a snack. You got a cat. And then we're gonna have these. I love this stuff, man. This type of stuff is so awesome. I mean, you remember like the Star Wars cards and all that? Like he's got his little waiter's outfit on. Poor Willie. He's seen better times in life, right? Is he still alive? That guy was like 38. I think I told that story, right? Olivia and I were watching this about a year ago. I mean, a year and a half ago. I was trying to show it to her. And I'm like, I went and looked at his age. And I'm like, hey, I go, did I look as old as that guy? And he was like, And she's like, no, why? I'm like, he's 38 there. He's like 10 years younger than me. Yeah, I was 48. I'm like, he's like 10 years younger than me. And that was, I don't know if he had the drug problem then. Machine Man, it's funny that you say that, because the sticker, as I was flipping through it, does make a puzzle. It was on the bottom. That's the only reason why I noticed it. And I just noticed it, and then I saw you say something. I forgot that a lot of times they made a puzzle, and I think it was the sticker that always made the puzzle. So super cool. Thank you, Ed. And for Tony, okay, now this guy has sent me some weapons. Now, not like Top Fun. Not like Top Fun where he sends me 3D printed weapons. Not like Arsenal Pew Pews, who I've gotten some. So Tony sent me a box of weapons, almost all classified, and some Marvel Legends. He sent it in the Larry Neck box, which is, I am willing to bet he did it on purpose, but then again, it's Tony, so maybe he didn't. So here we have the Larry Neck. So these are all the weapons, all right? And as I was going through them, I like a lot of these weapons. The AK-47 from the Officer, a couple FAMAS. I don't know how you have more FAMASes. That's something we're going to discuss. A lot of the M16s, which I think are really good, along with the XR234 laser rifle, whatever it's called. A lot of good weapons in there. But as I was going through that, Tony, it dawned on me, you might buy more classified figures than I do, even though I may buy all of them, like one of each, and you don't, because you and this is going off the rest of the weapons that you sent me before. You have bought a lot of Stalkers. You've bought a lot of Dusties. Again, there was a bunch of the laser rifles and the M16s. And I know you do customs, but I'm telling you, like, you went through an awful lot of buying figures. So yeah, I think you may be buying more than I do. Johnny Reno says, no, I'm going to send him another box of that stuff. You can send it. You know what? This is what's really good about this stuff. Not only do I like some of these weapons, but the stuff like the M16 and laser rifles and stuff like that, they have a little bit of paint on it. Will look really good on some of the weapons racks that I have for doing photography or just doing displays, because it will accent like the grays or whatever. So it actually will work nice. Johnny Reno says, I bought 32 Stalkers. Holy crap. He says, keep them all, bro. I got tons of fodder for custom. I know, but some of the stuff you sent me. And again, this whole box is packed. All right. You sent me 2 big M60s. Where did they come from? Are those Gridiron? Because I'd never seen them before. But yeah, a lot of weapons. So 3-star says, Punk, when I got those Yo MTV rap cards, we got some of those elf ones too. Why would you buy UMTV wraps? It's Jay Gonzo jumping here saying, what's up, everyone? APWT. Woo! All right. So I want to say thank you to Hyperdelic for joining me on Thursday with a friend. If you didn't watch it, please go watch it. That guy is a blast. I had a really good time chatting with him. So much fun. Again, he's a fun guy for sure. As I mentioned, everyone on Friday who jumped on Punk's Pit, including Matthew and Ed, my 2 moderators. I don't like that Ed has to leave the show so he can go moderate some guy named Radnam. Has anyone ever heard of that guy? I don't even know who he is. Tony's Figs was on. We have Action Figure Addict. Like I said, Viper Scout. Darren was on. Ken jumped in, and I think there was a few other people. So to everyone that jumped on, thank you very much. I did stay away from the clubhouse on Saturday. I got to take a break. definitely got to take a break. And then Sundays, I record at 9. It was one of the reasons why I have not been checking out Hella Dope Toys. And I know they weren't on last night, I don't believe. As we are recording Talking Reacher, which we have one more episode to get through, the finale. And then we're going to do a live stream that same week. The same week that the series finale comes on, or the season finale comes out, we're going to do a live stream that Sunday at 9 p.m. when we normally would be recording. So I will keep you guys up to date. But if you're not watching Talking Reacher over on the Coalition, please go do it. I'm going to drop a link for it right now, just because, well, it's my channel, and I can do whatever I want. Right? I should be promoting my stuff, right? So anyway. And then tomorrow we have the live stream, well, the fan stream for G.I. Joe. And let's just say I'm interested. I don't know if anything's dropped. I have not seen anything drop, or else we'd be discussing it. If anyone sees anything like new stuff that we haven't seen, please let me know so we can talk about it later on. We get to the G.I. Joe section. Toy Matrix jumping in. But at 6:30, my new show that I'm part of, it's not my new show, but it's a new show that I'm part of, Circle of Jerks with Baldy, the Island Viper, and Spec. We go on at 6:30. We go to about 8 o'clock. This is your Tuesday. 6:30, be sitting in your seats. Right? Just have your popcorn ready, have your drinks and everything ready. 6:30, we go to about 8 o'clock or whatever. Then 9 o'clock, Ed and Mr. Wonderful, not Hexastacks, go live on Ed's channel. Ed, drop a link to your channel if you did it. And then at 10 o'clock, over on Pop Blender's channel, my other moderator, Matthew Matson and Pop, go live to talk about other things, not just toys, because let's be honest, we all can't talk toys. So there's your Tuesday. You don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to look for anyone else. You get 4 morons that are just talking G.I. Joe and stuff like that. And then you can jump over at 9 o'clock, check out Ed and Travis. They talk about more of the obscure lines, the independent companies that they're just not nearly as popular as G.I. Joe. And then at 10 p.m., you jump over to Pop and Matthew and do a little more. So Matthew, drop a link to yours also. I need to take a drink now. Yeah, 4 bald fucks. Tony, we should have went with that. I'm still impartial to Not Another Toy Stream, but they didn't like it, so well, we didn't do that. All right, so one more thing I want to mention: 3D printers, please. If you are looking into it, Render Boy, he has 6 days left that he's trying to fundraise this. Check it out. My first giveaway that I did was a 3D printed mech. It was his design, printed by my buddy Greg. And when he hit me up, I really wanted to help him out. I really wish he would have hit me up earlier, Javier. So if you do another Kickstarter like this, please hit me up earlier so we can promote it a little bit better. We can do a live stream and have you on here. I don't know if you're watching or not, but hopefully this thing gets funded. So, because it does look pretty cool. So check it out if you're a 3D printer. It can all be done on he said this one can all be done on an Ender 3, which is what I have. So your basic model, you can 3D print everything on the small bed. As I mentioned earlier, Hella Dope Toys, they do have their it looks like all the Mythic Legion stuff. So use the code APWT, get 10% off everything in stock or on pre-order. And we know there's a lot of pre-order stuff coming. So before we get into the news, one thing I did not put on here is that it looks like Mythic Legions, Four Horsemen, have kind of changed the tier format for the dragon. Now, there were a lot of people that thought by Tuesday this thing was going to be funded. And I think right now, again, I think it's going to be funded. There's no doubt about it. But I have a feeling that Mythic Legion, Four Horsemen are, and again, this may upset some of the cabal, so earmuffs, you guys. I think that it may bother some of them, but I don't think they realize their legions aren't maybe as invested as they thought they were going to be. That these people were just going to jump on it. Taking money for a Kickstarter or a fund crowdfunder right away is difficult, especially when you didn't give up pricing. I'm sorry, if you're going to do something like this and you're going to charge people right away, tell them what it's going to be. And when you come out with a $550 for the dragon and then $250 accessory sets, let people know so they can prepare. Again, if this is a HasLab, you're not getting charged to the end, or a Kickstarter at that, you're not getting charged to the end. So let people know. There is no reason not to. Gun Bunny Customs jumping in here. And then Carol jumping in. Great to see you. Ed saying, how dare you say it, you little shit. I think is this what you're talking about, the crowdfunder? You know what I'm saying? It is a crowdfunder. So it looks like in the basic, it looks like they've dropped their tiers. Not the tiers that people will be crying if they didn't do it or if it didn't make it. But they dropped the tiers where if it funds, you get everything. Right? If I'm wrong, please correct me. But it sounds like if they hit the tier, everything is going to be included in it. So if you hit the tier for the dragon, everything that was supposed to be in it, like every tier will be hit. Maybe I read it wrong. To me, they're at 70%. This is really being scared, in my opinion. This is you jumping the gun, being worried. But by lowering that with the wings, with the head, the fire breath, if you basically say, okay, well, you know what, change it up, and what we're going to do is once you hit it, everything is included. What you've just told everyone is things that we've already known, is that just like with the HasLab and everything, the moment you hit that base tier, you've covered everything, and they're now in the red if everything gets included. So okay, Ed says everyone will get the knight figure, then all the other tiers drop a level. All right, now again, I think that is jumping the gun, and I don't know how you cannot say it isn't, and I'm not saying you are, obviously. And then Odin says the dragon will come with base figure of the knight, and I believe the other tiers have dropped by 500. And Killa says Mythic Legions just add a tier of patches. It will fun in full in seconds. It's not a bad idea. But again, to me, this is what I consider that jumping the gun. There is no reason to jump it that quickly. Like, I don't know why. You're a week into this, and now you're like, oh shit, we haven't hit it yet. The truth is, you should have waited. You were certain that this thing was going to fund at the price that you said. So just stick with it. Again, lowering it to me just says, all right, we have to make sure everyone knows that they're going to get this. And again, I know the cabal, if anyone is watching it right now or they're watching on the replay, there's probably steam coming out their ears. Maybe that will be another tier that they'll throw in there, because those people can't take criticism. They're like some other people, like other communities. I've mentioned that before. And it's too bad. They make some of the greatest stuff, but their community is, well, again, they're not bad people, but man, they're cult-like. I'll just say it. No one else wants to say it. I'll say it. They're cult-like. But anyway, That's just my feeling. And again, if you need it, awesome. Matthew said the dragon needs a saddle. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Why wouldn't you have one? It does make sense. We have Aaron. I'm sorry. I bet everyone with the name Aaron hates hearing that. But it's just awesome. I think a lot of people will be ordering just the head fire effects, have them poking out of a cave or something. You're dead on, because I think Matthew already said. I think Matthew. I think you said you might do that. And if you go look at it, that one's almost funded. It was like almost funded, and I even looked at it because I was kind of like $150. I wouldn't mind to do that. Then my rear end of my car went boom, and it was a loud boom. So yeah, I won't be doing that. Right, Patches Ori Riot, Sean Forrester. Ronnie Trickshot says, "I never hear Aaron. Just saying." No, you just hear Run. Yeah. And yeah, 3 stars say 96% on the fire set. Yeah, again, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are ordering that, and you're dead on. People can have it like you said, they can make a cave like it's just sticking out. How they can do stuff with that fire. The photographers, they don't need to have the whole dragon. They can do more than enough. They can do more than enough with just the head there. So yeah. And I don't even know. I wonder if they thought about that. I do wonder if they thought like, hey, there are people that are just going to buy this head here, because they can do what they need. No one's going to be buying the wings unless you have the dragon, right? 610 Daddy, who I understand is 610. Go smash that like button and subscribe. Nearly 80 watching, and only near 50 likes. Ready for the live stream in the morning, Punk? I am. I definitely am. And I'm hoping they show some new stuff, that's for sure. So 69 votes in the 69 votes in the poll. And how many likes do we have? I have to refresh it to see the likes. All right, come on. It's 44 likes. I'm serious, how do you guys vote in the poll but not hit the like button? Oh, that's right. Sometimes you got to wait to the end to see if you actually like this. All right. And then one last thing before we get into a little bit of news. As I always talk about, I do have the affiliate links of, APWT over at Hella Dope Toys, Entertainment Earth, A-Punk. You get 10% off anything that's in stock. And the Amazon links, please, if you're going to order something off Amazon, just hit one of the links that are in any of my videos. It helps support the channel. Help me get my car fixed. And it doesn't cost you anything because you're going to be buying it anyway. But I do want to, because if I don't show this off, I mean, who else is going to show this off, right? And that is, let's see. It's not that one. This. So Roman was talking to me, and he said he wants to see as many pictures from Joe Fest of people wearing his shirt right here. All right. This shirt was made by my buddy's Customs. So if you ever see Bud on the Clubhouse, really nice guy. He put it together, and then Figure Vine Jungo. Ed, tell me if I'm saying that right. He colored it in for me because Bud was taking way too long. But we do have merch, and again, we have rubber band technology. I know Tony loves that one. There's a lot of different shirts. There's a lot more. There's everything, So it would be great to be at Joe Fest and see more than a few people wearing shirts. But Roman was like, I need people wearing my shirt. All right. I want to see my shirt front and center. Look at this. There's even this one, a Roman with toys. And we also got a dog with toys. Tony wanted one of them. I forget which one. He wanted a dog. Like this one here is the exact. I believe this is the exact same color that the 3-star has. Vine Juggle Figure Factory. Thank you very much. Anyway, if I don't show for my stuff, who else is going to show for, right? So anyway, like I said, Roman is just saying he wants to see as many people wearing his product as possible. It's crazy that he can talk to you like this, but he can. Anyway, that's it with that. I'm going to remove this because I feel weird promoting my own stuff, but I have to. Anyway, I guess now it is time to get into a little bit of the news and see what's been going on. But before we do, let's quickly get a word from our sponsors.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, oh, dang, Moss Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine. And I'm just like, well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box. I was like, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh, dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all saved. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used. And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe. And then in the comments, put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
And I believe there's at least one person that participated in that chat there that does not like me. It kind of bothers me. I wish I could exit out, but hey, you can only do so much, right? Bobby Wool jumping in here saying, does Mossman drink protein shakes with the rest of Eternia, or is he taking fertilizers on the side? That's a good question. Maybe we'll have to ask him about that and see what his secret is to building those big muscular arms and traps. Anyway. A lot of news to get through. So this is where I ask for your guys' help, because as you guys know, I only pay attention to so much stuff, and as I'm trying to do this and 100 other different shows, it seems. So get ready to fill me in on what I need to know. So anyway, Masters of the Universe. All right, where's my MOTU, guys? We like to start off with this, and they, out of nowhere, dropped a 4-pack for the fan channels. Now, I do not really follow what's going on with MOTU anymore, but I believe there was a YouTuber that was really upset about this, or maybe other people in the community that weren't happy Like, did we need this? Did we ask for this? I kind of saw it in some of our chats. I didn't pay attention. Sean Forrester says, just place an order. The Grumbos got me. I love it. You have to go back and watch that episode. I believe it was on the episode with I believe it was on the episode with Ted that he talked about what the Grumble Duffs are and where it came from. I haven't had that over a year, have I? Because he was the first guest last year. If I've had that a year, then we need some more. Come on, Ted. We need another commercial. Anyway, so this 4-pack dropped. It's on BBTS. It's $60. And it's like the Battle for Eternia or something. Very interesting. I actually think they look pretty good. But you have like an Eternia guard, a Horde guard with a Horde face and wings on his ears. What looks like Skeletor in in some sort of combat head, and then some sort of Snake Man that is very, very disturbing to say the least. 3-star says, what we need from Ted is another hella dope rhyme. All right, well, you get him. You get to that. And Aaron says, hey, I like those army builder variants. Again, it seems like some people are a little upset about this. At least that's what I had heard. Again, if you don't like it, don't buy it. It's so simple. Like when you don't like something, you just don't buy it. So here's the back of them. I've been saying this. I do believe that even though I'm not collecting Origins anymore, the stuff that they have shown off at Mattel Creations in the past 2 years, towards the end of when I was getting out of it, I thought they were doing really, really good, especially with the face sculpts and their design. Especially for something that is still at a very inexpensive price. We have Mr. Wonderful jumping in here saying, just sliding through to say, what's up before I go to sleep, dudes? Wait, isn't Monday Night Raw on? How do you go to sleep during Monday Night Raw? I mean, I know Monday Night Raw took a hit, once I started getting more popular, but it's still a fairly strong show. Netflix wanted it. We have Plastic Skull jumping in and saying, what's up, APWT and everyone else? So we have, I think this is Skeletor. I don't know. I like it. All right. This does look really cool. Clearly he has a big, giant Skeletor sword that's kind of like a mix between a sword and a Havoc staff. I think that face sculpt is really good. As I mentioned, for the price that you're getting, for the price that you're paying, this is actually really, really cool. I like the new design. And maybe it's not a new design. Maybe someone's going to yell at me and say this design's been around, but I like the new shoulder armor, the pauldrons. I think that looks really good. And I think the purples and that like grayish black there really have a nice contrast to each other. A Surly Barber. Now, I know I have never seen this name before. So I just want to say thank you for jumping in here. I love seeing new people. So thank you for jumping in here, and I hope you like more than just MOTU. I guess there's no chance of getting any Dolph Lundgren, Frank, whatever, and Courtney Cox MOTU figures. Well, Frank played Skeletor, right? They did him in Masterverse, and they also did. They also did. Well, they did a version of the movie. I would not call it Dolph Lundgren because it looks nothing like Dolph Lundgren. But Masterverse, they did do they did Skeletor and they did He-Man, but again, it doesn't look anything like Dolph Lundgren. I can't see them doing a Courtney Cox. That would be, you want to talk about dead on arrival. I think that would just be done right the moment it hit the pegs. I could be completely wrong. And Matthew says, okay, they've done Gildor, Skeletor, and He-Man from the movie. He-Man from the movie, but not Dolph Lundgren. So here is this guy. And if I remember correctly, the guy that did the Roman shirt, Roman Duke or Duke Roman, he kind of pointed out that the one head sculpt kind of looks like Once a Man Cobra Commander. I guess so when you kind of look at it, but let's be honest, it's kind of a generic, what you would think a face of a like a snake would look like. But this is actually pretty cool. It's kind of got like a dragon arm, one dragon head, and then kind of, I guess, a Once a Man Cobra Commander. This thing is very interesting, though. But again, if you like it, hey, pick it up. $60 for all 4 of them. If you don't like it, just move on. It's real simple. I don't like it. I'm not going to buy it. We have Graf in here saying, woohoo, MOTU news just in time. And then we have Yojo Jerk saying, hey, APWT. Hope your show went well. I would love to catch the first hour of it before I go live, but I do need my nap time. So I was trying to tune in at least at 15 minutes before I start. So if you're not watching Jerkin Games on Monday night before the show starts at 8 p.m., just do it. They're good. Those guys, again, it reminds me a lot of what we're doing on Tuesday. We're just four guys just having a blast. It doesn't have to go according to plan like we might think. There's something fun about doing a show. You're welcome. There's something fun about doing a show when you have 4 guys or 3 guys or whatever, and you're just laughing. And if things don't go according to plan, you don't really care. Compared to like, hey, this is the show we're doing, and we're off track, and I don't like it. We got to get back on track. Who cares? Like, there's no network paying us. This Royal Guard or Eternia Guard he's awesome. All right. I like the big giant mallet, but this is just from the beginning, this is a good head sculpt. I think the colors work really good. This guy is clearly there to protect Burger King. Does Burger King have a name? The king of the Whoppers. Again, blue cape. And again, it'd be awesome if that was, let's say, cloth, but I don't think you're ever going to get that with Origins, especially for the price. So, but I think this one looks really good. I think this is a nice upgrade to the version that we actually got. We have Black Knight jumping in here. Wait, you're supposed to have a script to a show? It all depends. Some people do, and again, I try and get back on track, but for the most part, yeah. And as Jerk says, it's all about having fun. You are absolutely correct, man. It is all about having fun. And the Surly Barber says, I'm on a G.I. Joe Classified kick right now, finding Raptor at an overstocked store for $15 got me started. That is a great figure. That is a great figure. He literally sits behind me because I don't know where to put him in my display. As a matter of fact, my display is still a complete mess. But yeah, good luck. You jumped into that line that is just sucking people in. Liquid Identity. Replay squad for the win. Goes off track. I can skip around. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Going off track is part of my charm. Todd C jumping in here just in time for the good stuff. All right. And then we got this Horde character. I don't believe this is supposed to be Hordak. But I like these colors. And I'll go back to the Valaverse Horde Swarm, who I think probably has the best colors of all the swarms. I love the Swarm Tracer, but that's because he glows in the dark. The Swarm Horde Trooper is awesome. But this is actually pretty cool. Well, I wouldn't call it a live. There's a fan stream at 11. Yeah, so it won't be live. I don't believe so. It's probably been done I mean, we've seen some of them pop up even early before on accident. But yeah, there is a fan stream for G.I. Joe at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I like these colors. I just think they work. I like this helmet. Again, I'm not collecting Origins anymore, but if you are, man, I would be happy with this. Again, for someone to sit there, or for people to say, like, you know, who asked for this? No one asked for this. I didn't ask for this. Well, Mattel must have forgot to ask you, or they just didn't give a shit, right? It's kind of like Cold Slither, right? I didn't want that. Well, they didn't ask you, nor did they care what you thought. And then they showed off this guy here. I forget what his name is. Someone please tell me what this guy is, what his name is. Like Valitech or something like that. Clearly Horde. I don't think we've had wings like this in the Origins line. So that is some new tooling. And I got to say, they're just one piece. They don't look like they fold or anything. I think people are really going to enjoy that. And then Osiris, that 4-pack is terrible and 70 is too high. 35 to 45 price point better. I think, well, actually, I thought that it was, $70. But, you know, these figures are, I mean, they're $10 or they're $20 each. So unlike G.I. Joe Classified, you're actually getting a deal on them. But again, if you don't want it, then you don't want it. I mean, that's just, I mean, it's really that simple. They're giving you new characters that were never created before. I mean, that's what people want. That's what people want to see. 35 to 45, that makes 0 cents when one figure is $20. So you're getting a 4-pack at 70. Is it 70 or 60? So it's still cheaper than buying 4 figures. So I don't know how. I'm not really sure where you see that's a terrible price. It's figures a child will put together. Well, again, then it just goes back to then just don't buy it. That MOTU has always been that. That's one of their biggest things. Again, I mean, if you don't like it, then you don't have to buy it. I mean, but whether or not kids can put them together, there's still tooling and there's plastic that they have to cover the cost of. He does Hordex taxes. See, Graph, if you weren't here right now, how would I get this? So this is a Hordex accountant, just like Raptor. They probably went to school together. Maybe they're related. I do like that. And his name is Voltac. Thank you, 610 and J Astro. I think this figure looks cool, and I got to say that if I was still collecting, I would be all down for this figure. There's something about winged characters that I think are just really cool. I like things that take up a lot of shelf space. But anyway, they just showed him off. I didn't see any other pretty promo pictures. So, but if you're into this, go pick it up. If you don't want it, don't pick it up. Find something else that you want to spend your money on. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of things that I pass on, like almost all the McFarland stuff. So there is I believe this is a 2-pack of Killer Croc and a Batman. I get a tear now. I shed a tear thinking about there will come a day that McFarland is not pushing out 23 Batman a week. But it looks like we still got some time before we get here. So anyway, we do have this right now. I think these both look good. This is crazy because now that he's losing the license, and again, these things are in production. They're in design for 18 months. They've talked about it before. Right now, his head sculpts are looking better than they ever have. And it's too bad because maybe with all the head sculpts looking as good, maybe he's going to fix the articulation. Maybe he was going to finally go pinless. He's not going pinless. That guy is so against pinless. Where did I totally miss Krusty old Crow? Oh, here he is. I didn't even see. Hey, sorry I'm late. The Leafs were playing. Crow, I did not even see you, so great to have you here. And then we have this guy showing up a little late. We're a chest full of toys. His wings look better than Immortal. All right. I think those wings actually do look pretty good, though. I'll be 100% honest. For will probably be a $20 figure, maybe 25 if it's a deluxe. Is that what went the deluxe? Maybe the deluxe was 30. Maybe they went up. I forget. And that's all we have for McFarland. There may have been more stuff, but nothing showed up on my radar. So, Storm Collectibles dropped an M Bison. So this is part of their Storm Collectible, their Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenge. And I have to say, there were some things that I was about to yell and scream about this, but then I got to back off because I looked at all the pictures and said, okay. So for me personally, I definitely like the Jada from what I'm seeing more, but I really like this cape. It looks like it has a much better wire in that because it's holding better than what the Bison does there. It also looks like it's made of better cloth, and I don't have an issue with the Bison one. So please don't don't think that I'm putting it down. But this one, like, at least with the paints and maybe it's the background, it looks in these pictures like it is straight out of a video game. Or maybe animation, shall I say. Just like the shading around the boots and everything looks really good. This is, I would say, my favorite of the figures that they have shown off for the for this size. And let's see here. The Surly Barber saying McFarland better put out a Burt Warden Robin figure before he loses the license. Don't ever threaten Uncle Todd, because then he just won't do it just because. We have Tech 489 saying looks cool, but lower legs look too big. Well, I think they always were, but I could be completely wrong. Eternian Ellipse, that always gets me. I always want to say Eclipse. Hello, Punk. Uh-oh, you're wearing the wrong color. I have to pinch you. Please don't pinch me. Please don't pinch me. Now, why does he have a glowing hand? Someone's got to be able to tell me why he has a glowing hand? I am not I'm not a Street Fighter fan. I love the figures, but I was not a Street Fighter fan of the video game. So tell me why he has like a glowing hand. I do think these face sculpts look really good. I think this figure looks excellent. His legs look a little long. That's a Psycho Power. It's really called Psycho Power. I feel like I'm listening to a Suicidal Tendency song or something. His legs look long. It's when you said too big, I was thinking muscular, like thick wise. I think you're talking about long, and I think you're kind of onto it. But I think the face sculpts look really good. I think they did a really good job with this. But now that the legs are pointed out and how long they are, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't. Thanks to whoever ruined that for me. Surly Barber says he does have a glowing blue fist attack in the game. Yeah, I assume that he did. I didn't know that. The version of Bison was more leak than bulky. I think you meant Link. This is a good picture. Again, I think they did some good things here. So this was when I was looking at it. I'm like, oh man, that is some bad AI because those hands are just melding into each other, right? I think we've seen enough of this. More sleek. Okay, well that makes sense. They do a nice job of trying to make them look like they're fighting. So I saw this picture, and any basketball fan, does anyone remember the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat basketball team when they had the brawl and Van Gundy jumped onto Alonzo Mourning's leg to try and get him to stop fighting? That's all that I could think of, and I wanted to go in and and put this picture, and I totally forgot. Yeah, see, look at that. Graph remembers it. Tech 49 remembers it. Nolan is jumping in here, which makes us Toy Tube official now. I'm glad that all the basketball fans, the sports ball, you guys remember Van Gundy jumping on Alonzo Mourning's legs. Because that's all that I could think of when I saw this. Let's see here. That was back when the NBA was good. It was better than it is now. The Ron Artest Malice at the Palace. I remember that. It was Malice at the Palace. That's when he was still Ron Artest. And Ron Artest went in and attacked the wrong guy. And then the one fan, and again, I live in Detroit, so I get to, oh man, we talked about this a lot. The one guy came out, and who was the guy that leveled there was one of the players on Indiana that just leveled. He leveled one of the fans, which he should have, because that guy had no business being on the floor. And he came out there, and I can't think of his name, and he leveled. And I mean, he leveled this fan, and rightly so. Just like Ron Artest should not have gone into the stands, this guy should not have come down. The not Malice at the Garden. Was it in the Garden, or was it on? Was it at the Garden, or was it in Miami? I just remember him holding on to that. Oh my gosh. It was not Steven Jackson. It was the younger guy. And then the fan crumbled, as you might expect when some guy that's like 6'8" levels you or punches you. Jermaine O'Neal, yes. So much fun. That was awesome. You got to understand, like, we here in Detroit, we have the March 26th game, the Avs versus the Red Wings here at the Joe. If you're not a hockey fan and you don't know the date, go look up March 26th, Detroit Red Wings. If you put March 26th NHL, it's going to pop up. It is the greatest regular season game, bar none. There is so many fights. There is scoring. It is awesome. And the guy that needed to get his ass kicked got his ass beat so bad. Anyway, we have looked at Van Gundy long enough. I like this Blanca. I mean, this is a pretty awesome shot here. So here he is. So I saw this and I'm like, this is awful AI, right? Like, we have been discussing this. What the hell are they doing? This looks awful. And Matthew, you are correct. There are an extra set of arms that are already folded. They still don't mesh. Like, I still don't understand how he meshes into it. But yeah, it threw me off tremendously. So if you are into the Storm collectibles, here it is, Ultra Street Fighter 2. But Jada was like, no. We will not be upstaged by you guys. And they're giving us the Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers, Target exclusive, Guile. And I like this color. I like this color better than his G.I. Joe fatigues. I think this is just a good blue. And yes, my dumbass will probably buy it. Who am I kidding? My dumbass is going to buy it when I see it. I think that this color is awesome. This reminds me of I want to say it was the 50th anniversary Joes. They had some blue ones. There was Bazooka, Dusty, looked awesome. We do not say that word around here. All right. I know they feel that they have won the Stanley Cup for the past 30 years in a row. They have not. um, but yeah, I think this looks really good. Yeah, I like this. Again, it is the exact same figure. I don't think there's anything different. So I don't think we're gonna get anything different. Just like Chun-Li wasn't anything different, other than the blue. Now this is where you would think would be a Walmart exclusive, but I believe they said this is a Target exclusive. But again, I'll be buying it, especially for $25. I don't think you can go wrong at all. But he's got the comb, he's got his dog tags, he's got the flat top, 2 different face sculpts, which means that there's going to be like an ultra one coming out, right? There's going to be a deluxe one, which I'll be interested to see what he comes with, because again, I don't know these figures at all. I don't know the history of how the game plays, so I'll be interested to see what the deluxe version is. 610 says, Punk, it's been 30 years since the Leafs made it out of the first round, much less the Cup. I know, but living here in Detroit, like some of those Leaf fans, like they act like they win it every single year. It's crazy. But you would know. I mean, you know this. Some of them are crazy. The Surly Barber says, I'm a St. Louis fan. 1 year of glorious triumph, 55 plus years of crushing disappointment. But think of it like this. So the Stanley Cup, hockey is Canada's sport, right? And the Stanley Cup is their trophy. I just want you to think about this, everyone. I know I got Canadian fans gonna make them mad. Since the last time a Canadian hockey team won the Stanley Cup, both Major League Baseball, the World Series, and the NBA Championship, their Canadian teams have won both those championships since the last time the Canadians, which was the last Stanley Cup they had. Now I know someone's going to say, "Hey, Maple Leafs and not the Maple Leafs, Canadians and the Blue Jays both won it in '93, but still the Blue Jays won it after them." Crazy to think about. That it's been 93. 93 they haven't won a Stanley Cup. They have a bunch of teams. Kiwi GI Customs and Collections jumping in here saying smash that like button. Thank you. And he will be a future guest all the way from New Zealand, and he's doing it live. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, anyway, enough about Blue Guile. Again, we've seen all this stuff. I like the boots. Seriously, those boots look like they're straight out of the Classified. So, is this something you guys are interested in? Do you guys like the variants, the Player 2? I like the Chun-Li better. I think the pink one is even better than that, but I haven't gotten around to ordering that. But there you go. And then we get to some Meszco, and they dropped this today. Is Gangrene. I forget what his first name is. I can't read it. I was tempted to buy this, but then I had to keep reminding myself that my car is broken down. This guy looks awesome. Ed, did you order this? Because I feel like this is right up your alley to order something. Ed, tell me that you ordered this. I think this thing is awesome. But whenever I think like the Meszco's, like their own line, the Rumble Society, man, I think their stuff is so awesome. I haven't ordered any of it, but every time that I see one of it, see something of it go up, I'm just like, that is something that that's something that I'm interested in, but it is just an expensive line that I can't imagine going down. Oh, you missed it because you were working, man. Yeah, I was tempted. I sat there looking at it, and I kept doing that. If it's still there, and I waited until it was sold out, and I'm like, good, now I can't order it. But this guy, again, I do not know I don't know what his story is. I don't know what any of the Rumble Society story is, but man, talk about just awesome. These things just, I feel like they put more love into their product than the other products, and I think their other products are actually pretty good normally. Meszco, if you're listening, I'm still waiting for my replacement of my Duke backpack and his rifle that you told me give it 6 weeks, and that was back in October. And to tell you how, and I've heard bad stories. I'm just going to quickly. We've heard bad stories about their customer service. I reached out to them after about 8 weeks and said, "Hey, I was just wondering, what's going on with this." You said after about 6 weeks, and their response was, we're really bad, we're really behind, but if you want, we can send you a refund and you can send the figure back." I'm like, I just want a non-broken stock in my gun. I said, no, I'm waiting. I just don't want it to get lost. And then 2 years later, be like, hey, where is this? I have a feeling I'm never getting the gun or the backpack. Their customer service, in my opinion, from what I can tell, is awful. Like, how dare you bother me that our product broke on you? And if Legend Series is in, he'll probably chime in talking about how he ordered a Conan and they treated him like such crap that he's like, never again will I buy something. Action Figure Atorium saying, would you say that Gomez and company changed Meszco and reinvented them as a company? I don't know, because I didn't know anything about them before. So I can't speak to that. I just feel like, when they're dropping these Rumble Society, these things are ready to go. So I don't know if it's because they don't have to get final approval for stuff or what, but they have their stuff ready to go, and you're going to get it in 6 to 8 weeks, which is still a little bit. Come on, it takes a little too long. I understand you're a small company, but if you have it in stock and someone's spending this much, you should probably ship it out. So I can't speak on that, but I do feel like the love that they put into their product is overwhelming better than most of the other stuff that they've done. And I don't think their other stuff is bad. But all these different head sculpts, and this is something you can fit in with your Mythic Legions. You can fit it in with your G.I. Joe. I mean, imagine this guy being in Mindbender's Laboratory, something like that. Again, just awesome. So many different things you can do with this guy. So if you got it, good for you. I think it was $110. So here's everything that he comes with: this iron mask, another mask. There's an actual unmasked head. They all get these stands. Everyone that asked me about where I got the G.I. Joe and Cobra stands from, they're just the discs that come with this. Now, if you're actually looking to hold your figures up, like you're classified, they use a different size hole for their feet, so you can't use it. But you don't need to use it because you can stand your figures without a problem. It's not that hard. And then he's got a hand and a skull just to carry around like a little backpack. And this guy could be also a dreadnought. Not like Crystal Ball. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, right? But just all this stuff is awesome. So there you go. If you got it, awesome. Alistair Gangrene. That was his name, Alistair. And Action Figuratorium says, I'm looking forward to a really bad problem with Meszco in the future. And that is one reason why I'm trying to stay away from it. I would fear that if I started going down this Rumble Society, that I would be. I mean, I like it more than I see like with the Mythic Legions, but I feel like Mythic Legions and not Cosmic, because I'm not a big fan of the Cosmic Legions. The other one. What's their special ones they keep doing that I can't think of? But I like these better. I just think that they articulate better. They look better. And again, that's taking nothing away from like those other. But I think I would be going down that road. Now, I did pre-order this. Figure Obscura. Thank you very much. I don't know why I just completely missed it, but thank you. I did pre-order this from Entertainment Earth because Entertainment Earth may be the last ones to get it, but they do not take a down payment, and it is free shipping. So if you decide that you need to cancel it because you don't have $120 to spend on an action figure, you haven't lost any. So just remember that when, if you order from Meszco, you're paying full price, or you can pay like a quarter of it, and that's non-refundable. BBTS, they charge you, I think, 10% non-refundable. Entertainment Earth does not. And so you don't need to worry about that, and then you can cancel it whenever you need to. So I know people are upset because they want a non-painted Arnold head. Again, why do you do this first? Because you know that people will buy this first, and they will also buy a non-painted Arnold head. I don't think that I've ever seen a better Arnold head on an action figure. This, and again, I'm trying to look through his makeup too, and this looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think they absolutely nailed it with this, and I cannot wait to put this with my Boss Fight Studios Red Sonja and watch people completely lose their shit when they go, those two don't go together. Ted Knight says, Tiger Force Conan. I would agree with you if we didn't know that he had this type of paint on. But yes, this does not look bad like Tiger Force Flint. All right. I hate that Tiger Force Flint. I hate that they put that on there. But yes. Forchess says that's Conan. He identifies as a raccoon. It made me laugh. Okay. Today you get a free pass for showing up late for your Thursday with a friend. You made me laugh. So Surly Barber says, I saw this and wanted it at first, but you lost me at $120. Again, so this is what you get with Meszco. And again, I'm not going to. I will never be a person that shames people or calls them poors because they don't think spending $100 or more on a figure is okay, right? We work hard for our money, but unfortunately, in this collecting, in the collecting game, yeah, there are some figures, and if you haven't had a Meszco, I will say this: you feel the difference. All the Meszco GI Joes. And I don't even think all of them look better, but the way they feel, the way they articulate the weapons, all the accessories they come with, you see why you're spending $110, $130 on some of these figures compared to $25. But when someone says, like when it comes to the GI Joe stuff, they go, I just don't see that Duke being, $80 better than the classified one. I can't argue with someone. Or Snake Eyes. I can't argue with you. Like, it's probably not that much better, but there is something completely different. And everyone that gets a Meszco, it's kind of like that Mythic Legion, that 4 Horsemen. You're like, yep, I see the difference and I see why I'm spending this. Now, I don't want to put I don't want to put Four Horsemen in the same league as this. And what I mean by that, I don't want to put them in the same league when it comes to pricing. Because I think for what you get with a Mythic Legion, it's probably your best bang for your buck for that quality, the paint, the accessories. So, Mr. Madga says, I would like to see King Conan like the one at the end of the movie, sitting on a throne, but that's another story. See what I did there? If you know, then you know. Yeah. Well, let's be honest. They're only touching the surface with this. I think we'll probably see another one. I can't see myself going in on another one, but there are some people that they love their Conan figures. And again, if you like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm sure there's someone that doesn't really look like Arnold. It looks exactly like him. Anyway, there he is chopping off dude's head. They don't give you a blood effect, I don't believe. Yeah, Tech9 says, yeah, they have a King Conan, but not the Arnold one. Yep. And Liquid Identity has not gone to sleep yet. I always war paint Conan, but never war paint Valeria to go with. Probably said that wrong. Here's all the other accessories, and like I said, here is the stand that I keep talking about. These are the exact same G.I. Joe stands. They're all the exact same, but they all, again, if you don't have a Meszco, these stands are actually really good. That flight stand there to get them jumping and everything is very, very sturdy. You don't have to worry about it not being able to hold the figure up like some other stands that you may have ordered off Amazon and stuff. And Thanos Copter jumping in here. Are you getting a shirtless Conan of Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean, you have to be, right? That's like right up your alley, Thanos. Whew. Beastmaster. See, I think Beastmaster would be cool, but I don't know if Beastmaster is popular enough that people would want to actually order it. But I do know that he has a cult following. For me, I want some V figures. Oh, you ain't buying any toys right now. That's fully understandable. All right. A little bit of ramen. And no, this has nothing to do with the people that are super pissed off that they have no tracking or any idea when the ramen vans are going to come. I don't understand this rollout. I think this is one of the things that drives people nuts about Ace and Ramen is that there doesn't seem to be clear communication on when certain things, like you're seeing people get it, and it's not like one side of the country is getting it. There's people that have ordered it. They were first. They ordered it right away. They haven't even got tracking on it. Some people said like it just kind of shows the tracking and then it shows up at their house. I think that's what Bobby B said. My buddy Greg, he ordered 2 of these and he hasn't seen anything, but like Stanley's already gotten one and sent it out to Gun Bunny to have it customized. So, but this is not about the ramen ran. This is about the musk. So, if you don't know, I swear to God, like at PowerCon a year and a half ago, when the turtle layer got shown off, I'm pretty sure Ace just went up with a tape measure and started measuring. I think he just started measuring it right in front of them. But this is different than the turtle layer to an extent. So this is the one piece. This is $200. If you don't know, that's less than $300, and they don't get pissed off if they accidentally send you an extra one and you don't want to send it back. But you actually get more than what you get with that turtle layer, as you actually get a street level. And I do believe that you can pop the NECA Street dial on top of this. So as you can see, it's 24 inches high. It's 16 inches wide. And approximately 24 inches long. You got your nice grate in the back. You got the sewer cover, and you have a ladder that goes to it. And here's a better look at it. You do have lights in it. I don't know if the lights are extra or not, but the lights actually do light up. And you'll see on this next one, you can buy the Super Musk, which is, I want to say, was this $270? I think this was $270. Now you're getting two different sides. It's much larger, as in twice as wide, the same height, and you could do so much with this. Yeah, I wish I could have ordered the Musk. Well, you can, because I believe that you can get it over on BBTS right now. You know, they showed off a lot of stuff that I don't know if it ever came to fruition. Like, they showed a lot of different things. So I'm not sure if there was a street light or the phone booth. Certainly, Barber, the name Musk isn't gonna do this any favors. Yeah, I thought the same thing when I heard Musk. I'm like, I don't know if I'd really go with that name, but they did, and people seem to like it. So anyway, you got your door. I love the fact that there's like a you have the water for the sewer going through. You got these little steps. Okay, this is just really cool. This is going to be great for photography because here you have, underground, inside, and you also have your outside. And again, if I am correct, I thought that if you want, this will fit the Necka Street scene. So you can actually put it on top of it. And here you can see the lights actually lighting up. Yeah, bricks that come out. If I had the money for this, I would love to get it. Because this thing is just awesome. But this is a very expensive set piece. And again, you'll probably pay just as much if you order something like this from a 3D printer. So just be prepared, just understand that. But you might be able to get it a little bit more customized from a 3D printer. But it also breaks apart. So you can have two different scenes. So again, this may just be a better for your, better for the price that you're going to be paying because it's not double. I don't remember if this one is $270 or $370. Maybe it's $370. Does anyone remember? Matthew says it's still available for pre-order from Ramen. I personally, how much cheaper is it? How much is it on the Ramen site, Matthew? Because I think I'd rather go through BBTS because you're not paying all up front and then you're not worried about when it's going to ship. Okay, so if it's 300, then it's 370. So you're going to pay 70 more on BBTS, but you're going to pay about $50 shipping. Because I don't think the shipping is included. You can't find it on BBTS. That's where I got the pictures from. So it was there. But anyway, it's there. Now you're going to make me go look for it when I should be doing this. Don't gaslight me. I know that it was there. It was actually on the main page. That's how I saw it. And I type in Musk, what comes up? Yeah, Musk doesn't show up. I don't know. I swear that's where I got it from. Ramen Toy. Yep, it's there. So okay, it's $330 for the dual set. So after shipping and handling, you're probably going to pay less than through Ramen. So just pick that up. Yeah, pile of loot, $4 exactly. And if it's something this big, it won't come over DHL. So you'll get it sooner than 4 months later. So now includes the fourth wall, which is good. Splits the super into two Musk. So Again, if it's something you're interested in, go for it. Have fun. This thing's going to make amazing photography. It does all the work for you, like lighting and everything. Whew. All right. This is the Space Zombies from Mars, I believe. So there's... Now, I know a lot of people like these. Let me take a drink real quick. So, I do understand independent toy companies, but I don't see the $40. I don't see the $40 in these. Where is it? So, were they $40 or were they $50? Space Zombies from Mars. Where's my Space Zombies? Space Zombies. Here we are. Yeah, they're $50. So $49. I don't see the $49 in this. They look really good. I know Ed is really into them. So here's everything that you're going to get as of now. And I believe if you go higher, you can see all the things that can come with it. Is that how it's supposed to go, Ed? I think you've had them on. Now, and the reason why I say I don't see the $50 price point and it being worth it is because the guy that designed this is the same guy that helped design some of the Operation Monster Force stuff and some of the other stuff on BBTS, which those are $40. And I already kind of have an issue with them going from, $36 to $37. Like, what are and this was before any type of tariff. All right. I'm looking at this here and I'm like, all right, well, there's still some stuff in here. Maybe we're going to see more. But it just seems like they should be around a $40 price point. Ed says, but they are much cheaper on the Kickstarter. These are pre-orders on BBTS. Do not go towards the Kickstarter. Okay, either way, when I look at this, I feel like this, they're being done the same way that, they're being done the same as Operation Monster Force. So I think a $40 price point seems about correct. Just my personal opinion. Now, do you know if all the stuff that is grayed out or blacked out, is that stuff if they hit specific goals that we'll get? Because I'm assuming so. I have not looked at the Kickstarter or anything. Sean Forrester says, get on the Kickstarter much cheaper. Honestly, zombies are $25. The astronauts are $48. Buying more gets price break. Yes, but here's the thing. Then you have to pay for it up front. That's the reason why a lot of people would rather do this, because they don't have to pay for it up front, especially with everything. Okay, so Blackout is unlocked. Okay. So that's just my personal opinion. I think they look good. Now, this is a female. Now, I couldn't tell this is a female. So this is Julia Stryker. I believe it's the exact same body. Which, again, it's a big spacesuit. I like this color more than the green, although I do think the green looks pretty good. I do like this. And again, you're getting a lot of the same stuff. She's got the camera, same helmet. Is the backpack the same? The backpack's the same. She has claws, so she doesn't have a gun or anything. But again, $50 on BBTS. But I guess on the Kickstarter, you can go get them for $40. Just remember, Kickstarter, you pay for it up front, and then you have to sit around and wait for it. So again, Matthew Madsen said, they said on the live stream they studied spacesuits. Women look the same. No, and that's why I said, but her face doesn't look. Their face doesn't look like a female. That's all that I was saying. But there's a male one that goes with it. No, and Matthew, that makes total sense. I mean, you're wearing this big spacesuit, so that doesn't bother me at all. But when I looked at the face, I'm like, it doesn't really look too much like a female. But But again, this is also a digital render of it too. So, and then we get the zombies, which, man, what a horrible way to die. Now these are $30 right now on BBTS. I guess 25, but you're not getting very much. All right, you're getting the broken helmet, and then I guess you're waiting to hopefully unlock a couple other head sculpts, which would be nice because. But for $30, I mean, I can see getting one, but there's not a lot there to get it. And I understand independent toy companies. I do. Different legs there. So, okay. So there's the leg there. So this leg is just the exact same leg as that. And that leg is that leg. So why do I have to unlock it? You're already done. You already have it. You're not making anything new. Again, just, yeah. It says the big mistake on this campaign is not having $20 astronaut. The zombies are priced standard. The astronauts are deluxe price. I agree, other than what do you get I mean, if you're talking about just a basic astronaut with no backpack or anything, maybe. Again, I fully do understand, I mean, I understand that, but you got to look at like Valiverse, their basic figures, and he's been around and established, they're $20. So I think they're going to be a little bit more than that. Maybe a $25 price point on BBTS for a standard astronaut that only has a helmet. And again, I think you want more if you get the astronaut. I mean, and Ed says no, not exactly the same leg. Well, I'm just looking at the blacked out version. It looks like it's the same. We can see like half of it, and so maybe it will be different. But anyway, if you're interested in this, go get them. I'm not going to try and tell someone not to buy it. I just don't see the value in it. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't buy one. To see what it's like, but I'm assuming that it's just going to be like all the other Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff. Even though it's not a Fresh Monkey Fiction company, my guess is they're looking over them. They're going to come out of the same factory and everything. Whew. I need to take a drink. All right. So on to some G.I. Joe news before we get into the topic. And then as Crystal Ball went live, and then it was sold out, and oh my God, people were mad about it. And once again, this shows me that people. I truly do believe that half of the G.I. Joe collectors are not toy collectors. They don't understand how this works. Limited supply on Pulse, and then Walmart puts up as many as they want for pre-order, which I will say this. The pre-order for Walmart, I feel like like their exclusives, that is almost the only way to get them is the pre-order. Where Target is way different. Target is way different. Their pre-orders go up, and they only sell so many. But then they're sitting on their shelves. Like they'll be in the back. You can go to Pop Finder, and you'll see that they're sitting there, even though they can't sell them to the street date. So, but this is supposed to be released, I think, next month from Walmart. But yeah, these things, they're going to sell out. I think this looks good. I think people saying figure of the year I think you're kind of losing it a little bit. It looks good. It looks way better than the original Crystal Ball, but as an updated version, it's nothing compared to what like Raptor was. I love the mask. I can't see myself, posing him without anything other than that mask. So I think that's just how he's going to look best. I wish this was glow in the dark. I think they completely missed the boat by not making this glow in the dark. And I know Matthew would agree with me on that. Warcha says, when Punk picked up the white bottle, I thought he was drinking a giant milk jug. I was like, Larry likes his milk. No, it is it's a Kyocera water bottle. And then Ed says, the cool thing is all Operation Monster Force and Soldier of Fortune parts will interchange with zombies and astronauts, which is really cool. Like, and that's why I said when I look at the price point, you would think that they would be around the exact same time. 3-star says, Crystal Ball looks fantastic. I'm excited for him, but let's face it, folks, FOMO sold this damn figure. Yeah, I think he looks great. But he still looks like the original figure. Like, Raptor is completely different. Now, they gave him a mask and some actual weapons to make him different. But for the most part, he's still the exact same figure. Soul World, the number one, jumping in here. What's good, Lawrence? Late, but I'm here. Nice shirt. Thank you very much. And Sean Forrester says, missed out on Crystal Ball due to a meeting, but I'm confident they will go up again closer to release date. You are probably correct, but just watch for it. And you'll see it in the communities. You'll say, hey, you know what's up. And Aaron also said the same thing. Crystal Ball sold out on Walmart before I can get them. I'm not going to lie. You do have to be on. And the biggest thing, like I said, with Walmart is I feel like other than, and maybe you guys have seen them, other than the first retro cards, and I didn't even see all of them, their exclusives do not end up in stores. Target is the exact opposite. They end up in stores and on sale in abundance. Now, I know people have found the that Ram Cycle, the Walmart exclusive, the Ram Cycle. They found it on clearance. I don't know how they found it because I've never even seen one in stores or any of like the 3-figure waves that they had. So this one is kind of worrisome if you need this figure. Bearded McBeardison saying Canada Walmart is never a guarantee until it delivers. And I will say this, I'm going to knock on wood really quietly because I don't need Roman to flip out. I have not had any issues with Walmart. They have always delivered, usually in good shape. There are some that were in bags. And Pop Blender is jumping in and saying, did someone say Pop Blender? Oh no, Pop Finder. Never mind. It's Finder with one R, no E. I don't really think so. People know when it comes to the Walmart ones that those are the ones that when you look at basic figures, the ones that actually go up in price. And they know it's a crapshoot when it comes to Walmart. So they're just going to try and get it as quickly as possible. War Chest says, I'm so sick of exclusives. I miss all kinds of shit. It's gotten to the point I don't even try to get one anymore. I got shit to do. I don't have time to sit at the computer and drop whenever day. That is one of the greatest run-on sentences with no punctuation or capitalization that I have ever seen in my entire life. Matthew, take a screenshot of this because holy shit, that is awesome. Yeah, that's another thing. Walmart always check because they usually go, unlike Pulse, where it will never go up early. It will never go up early. Walmart sometimes they'll go up early, sometimes 2 hours early. I'm just saying. There was a figure that went up like 2 hours early. I forget which one it was. That I remember through friends hitting me up going, he's up right now. Oh, yeah, and Allison is back. And Darren says, I've never seen a Walmart exclusive figure either, other than the couple waves of retros. Yep. Physically, I won't. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I never saw Mole Rat, any of the Night Force box figures, none. And I mean, I would go to a lot of them. And look, Vine Jungle Figure Factory jumping in here. What's up, guy? What's up, guy? What's up? We're showing off earlier. I was showing off your where I think I still have it up. Look, there's 88 people watching. So I'm gonna add this really quick here because I'll remove it. As Roman was telling me, he wants to see as many pictures from Joe Fest wearing his shirt, his Roman Duke, which Vine Jungle Figure Factory was kind enough to color in for me after my buddy's Customs actually drew it all up. So Roman he wants to see it. I'm just saying. It's crazy. You think a dog can't talk, but he can. Aaron says, no, Stephen King didn't die, but he came up with the crystal ball for his son, who was a big Joe fan. Did someone ask if he died? His son created a figure. Sneak peek. If I'm correct. Yeah, Stephen King, his son created a Sneak Peek, which was awful. Vine Jungle says, do you have a Duke Roman as a figure yet? I do not, but there is somebody that does. That he's waiting on doing a commercial, I believe. Matthew? He's shown it off a few times, so there is one coming. It's not mine. Anyway, I do like the trench coat look to him. It does look better. He looks better than the original figure, the O-ring, but he's still the same figure. He's not any different like Raptor. He does look cooler, and I think that mask is awesome. There's no doubt about it. That mask is awesome. And I can see why someone like Vine Jungle here, that's Crystal Ball, and now I need him. Yeah, so. And thank you to Johnny Reno, who sent me that. Now, I do have Crystal Ball, my original one, but I did not have his shield. And Johnny Reno was kind enough when he sent all these O-ring figures and accessories. With Johnny, if you are watching right now, thank you so much. You have totally helped me add to the collection so I can continue to do more complete classic reviews of those O-ring figures. So here's this Crystal Ball. It is a nice looking figure, but we already talked about him. He's got his little 6-shooter, and he's only got one hand. They could have at least given him 2 hands. All in all, it looks good. I don't have a problem with it. And there's the box. And if anyone is wondering, from all accounts, that looks like that is Firefly. We talked about it last week, actually. So, all right. And as for tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the G.I. Joe fan stream. Now, somebody had asked if there's anything going up for pre-order tomorrow. So, Entertainment Earth really quick here. I don't think there's anything going up. Entertainment Earth. Now, if you go to Drop Zone, they'll kind of give you an idea. Oh my God, look, there's a Drop Zone of a whole bunch of Stitch stuff. Sorry, my daughter really loves it. Tuesday, March 18th. Yes, there is. The details are a little fuzzy, but this reminder is a sure thing. Sign up for one, and we'll let the pre-order this toy as soon as it's available. So at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only time zone that matters, Hasbro is dropping something. So my guess is there are some Joes that are going to drop tomorrow. So be prepared at 1 p.m. these are not going to sell out, at least not right away, because they're fan channel, at least fan channel exclusives. So you're maybe going to be BBTS, Entertainment Earth, Amazon. I'll have all the links that go up. So just be sure to watch, and I will post the links. Let's see here. March 25th at 10 a.m. There's another Hasbro drop. Now, they don't tell you if they're G.I. Joe or not. New action figures. Why, yes. Sign up for a reminder to see what's cooking. March 26th, which I already told you, March 26th is the infamous day of the greatest regular season hockey game of all time. Let's see here. So this March 26th says Hasbro action figures vehicles. Vehicles, that's the big thing. This launch is out of this world, and packed with new action figures. Sign up for a reminder to see which ones. So the fact that it says vehicles makes me think that maybe we'll see either the snake armor or the snake armor, all striker, or the claw might go up. And then there's April 1st. G.I. Joe has been known to release stuff on April 1st. April 1st at, again, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's new or it's old. Maybe it's both. It's also exclusive to us in 2025, so don't miss it. So that's interesting. April 1st, they're having a Hasbro exclusive to them. I can't imagine that would be G.I. Joe. But who knows? Turk Murphy, Toy Solutions, showing up. He was born on March 26th. So you were born on the infamous, awesome day of the Red Wings versus Avalanche. So has anything popped up? Has anyone been checking Instagram while listening to me? Usually by now, holy shit, we got an hour to talk about. Man, I can't talk about the top for an hour. We might not make it there for 3 hours today. I might just show commercials for a half hour. All right, so nothing. This is odd because normally by now we have seen a whole bunch of different things. Normally we've seen a whole bunch of different things. All the promotional pictures are usually popping up, which makes me wonder, are they going to be showing off anything new? Because we know we've seen the All-Striker. Well, I think it's safe to say we're going to get the divers that are going up. The divers are going to go up, or they're going to show off the divers. The snake armor. Hopefully the Cobra Claw, because they haven't said too much about that, although they did have it at Toy Fair. I'd like to see the All-Striker finally. I'd like to actually see how it's designed. I'd also like to see how the back of it comes off, how it does look. I'm hoping that the front wheels aren't as small as they actually look. Frag, Dark Lawn, Footloose, and who's the other Joe that's coming up? It's always a 4-figure wave. So there's another Joe. Who's the fourth figure? Blowtorch. Thank you very much. So I'm interested to see. Again, I hope we get to see. I mean, we'll probably get 2 render reveals or digital reveals. We'll get 2 name onlys. That's normally what they do. But I hope we actually see some in-product stuff that they've already shown off. The biggest thing that I really want to see is the All-Striker. And by the look of it, if you remember, when they showed off the Vamp, it came pretty quickly. Like, they showed the Vamp off, and then it was like, boom, here's the pre-order, and it came way quicker. Stinger was even faster, if I remember correctly. They really pushed that thing out pretty damn quickly. So, Stanley says, could the All-Striker be a lone stream unboxing? Like, I don't think so. I mean, I mean, now we already know what that stuff is like. So I mean, I don't think they really need to do that. It'd be nice if they did stuff just in general. But yeah, it's I don't think so, because that was new. They didn't do it with the Stinger. I can't imagine that the All Striker is going to be that different. You know, you're going to have to pop the wheels on it. They didn't do it with the with either the four wheelers, if I am correct, because we already know how the wheels go on. You know, the back, it looks like it's just going to come off really easily. So hopefully that's easy. Well, and Aaron, that's the biggest thing. It's a digital render from a specific angle. So until we actually see what it looks like, I'm not going to make my final judgment on it. I've even shown it here before, where someone photoshopped off the top, and it looks much better. The biggest issue is going to be if the wheels are that small in the front. Gridiron won't be able to do bigger wheels in the front because it will make it sit like my fucking car is sitting right now. It'll sit how my car is, with the back end hanging low, because it's going to be up too high. So I'm interested to see. Hopefully it does look better, because I don't really like the way it's looking. But if you go and look at the Fans Hobby one, you know, it has four small wheels all together on the dune buggy. And if you go and look at actual military dune buggies, that's how they look. They don't look like gridirons. They have really big wheels. That's way too big. And they don't have big wheels, like big tires in the back and small tires in the front. It's, dude, I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off over that. Sources are saying Snake at Target, and Target Mass Diver exclusives are the only two exclusives. Well, yeah, because Walmart will do theirs for their cons, and they just dropped Crystal Ball, and so the next con will probably get that 2-pack of Quick Kick and Beachhead. So I mean, we already know what their exclusives are. We know the Mass Device. Mass Device is exclusive to Target. So if the Snake Armor is that Mass Device? I'm trying to think if the Snake Armor was part of the Mass Device. And the divers we know are. So Target loves taking on those 2-pack exclusives that just sit there and they have to mark them. Stanley says Snake and Claw are Pulse. Do we know that for sure? It would make sense. And the reason why I say that is because I still think Hasbro and the whole marketing team is very keen to the fact that if you put too many vehicles at a high price out at Target and Walmart, and even to the fan channels and places like Sergeant Reds, they know that it's going to scare people away. And, you know, places like Sergeant Reds, and Sergeant Reds is a bad example because he knows how to run that business, right? He knows how to buy product where he's going to have it for a time to come when people ask. But other smaller companies, other smaller businesses, they can't get stuck with something, especially something that big that's going to sit on the shelves and going to cost them a lot. So I think Hasbro is very keen to just kind of like, all right, you know what? We have to make sure that it's going to be sitting in our warehouse. And BBTS doesn't matter, right? BBTS and Entertainment Earth, they don't matter. Like, they have the warehouse space. But it's all the smaller companies that it could kill this line. It can really, really hurt that line. And Matthew says, yes, 95% sure snake and claw or pulse. 100% on the snake. Okay. All right. I didn't know that. Again, and not shocking at all. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because they have not given, to all the bigger vehicles have been fan channel exclusives or pulse exclusives. And again, I think it's smart. Because then they're the ones eating the cost. They don't, they have overhead, but they can sell it for the full profit. So if they have to drop it, they're still probably not going to lose out where these other companies are going to lose out. And it sucks, but I still do believe that a lot of these Joe fans, they just want the ability to buy stuff. They don't really want to buy it. They want to have the option to go to Target or Walmart and buy it. And when you say it takes up too much shelf space, they go, well, there's big Power Wheels. Well, that's something completely different. It's something completely different. Walmart and Target do not want this stuff sitting there. And not to mention, remember, Hasbro's the one that has to pay for the space. They do rent space for their lines. And they don't want this. They don't want the shit just sitting there. There's no doubt about that. JoeFan84 says, the closest Target to me is an hour and a half away. Every time I go there, they have absolutely nothing. So I quit going in just eBay or Amazon, everything. So dumb question. Why don't you just go to the Target website and order through Target? Not trying to be a dick. But if you use a Target Red card or you have a Target credit card, they don't constantly ping your card, and you don't have to pay shipping. So I feel like that would be the smarter way to go. Not the smartest guy in the world, but I feel like that would be a better option right there. So Johnny says, my Target no longer carries G.I. Joe Classified. They told me only available online. I think they're lying to you because they just don't know. Because my mom has a doctor's appointment near it. Okay. I'm confused. I can't believe that. Yeah, the Target exclusives. I think they're full of it. I don't know why, Johnny. They would. Again, a lot of these employees don't know anything. They look at something like, oh, it shows that it's online only because they haven't put it out yet. Now, Ed, this is different. All right. Walmart is completely different. All right. I do not like ever comparing Walmart to Target. All right. What did they say about Target? The place that you pay a little bit more money because it's not Walmart. I go into I got a bunch of Targets, and there's always Joe's. It might not be the Joe's you want, but yeah. And Matthew says, I have 2 Walmarts that refuse to carry Joe's, but 6 that still do. My Targets have something from Joe. Yeah. Again, like I said, for some odd reason, the Walmart exclusives don't ever seem to make it to Walmart. They go online and then usually sell out pretty quickly. Where the Target, they sell out their online stock of what they're willing to do pre-orders, but then they end up in stores. And you'll find them if you use Pop Finder. So you go to Pop Finder. Now you have to get the DCPI. You can type it in once you get the DCPI. And once you can search, you can see exactly how many they have in stock. And it is according to the target stock, not what the website shows. Because the website's not always right. But this thing I checked against their system before. Because once you get to know people, you can kind of ask. And I've had it where it says like, yeah, there's 6 in stock on the website. And they're showing 4. And when I checked Pop Finder is telling you that there's 4 also at that store. But anything that is like, you'll see it populate, and it'll say they have 6 in stock. But if the ones that they can't sell stuff to their street date, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. A street date. Why do you have a street date for why do you have a street date for something like that? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But they do it. But what I'm going to do is I am going to run to the restroom really quick. So you're going to hear from Mossman, and then you're going to hear from my mods show.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on?
Mossman, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Mwahahahaha.
Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor, right.
Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice.
Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Ben.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to helldopetoys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh package box that I got from helldopetoys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to hellodopetoys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again?
Yes.
Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, their perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news discussions and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
Can I get a 3-minute commercial? I need a 3-minute commercial so I can walk away. A 5-minute commercial so I can walk away and go do some stuff that I want to do. So Matthew, try and make your next commercial like 3 minutes. All right. I need a 3-minute commercial. Not asking too much. Make it work. Matthew says, short guys, it's all my voices. It's all the voices in his head. Yes. See Bison is awesome. That's my biggest. That's the best thing that I've done on a stream. But I was just messing around. I'm like, hey, look, I put Chester Cheetah's head on Bison, and that looks so awesome. Um, Bobby Wool says you should do a skit on Skeletor trying to get grass stains out of his cape and on his staff to do Mossman. Well, what you need to do is reach out to Ted Darklaw, because he's the one that does it, and say, hey, Ted, you need to get with Legend Series, who does a wonderful Skeletor, and then do your Mossman, and then that's what I mean. I need like a 3-minute video so I can just walk away, because sometimes you are rushing. It sounds crazy, but it's like, all right, I gotta rush. You never want to get stuck in that spot where you just can't pee, or maybe you have a really long pee. It depends how much water I drink. Anyway, whew. So it's 11:20. I'm not used to getting to the topic this quickly. And let's quickly see what the poll is at. Suppose 150, and it says, do you collect vintage toys? 48% say no, 52% say yes. I'm sorry. 48% say yes, and 52% say no. Now, I'm actually shocked. I thought that it would be way more no's that don't collect the vintage toys. And once again, 82 likes, so please hit that like button if you haven't yet. There should be at least 115 thumbs up, but there's not, which is really odd. How do you vote on one thing but don't hit the like button? I should want to check and see how many dislikes I have, because maybe that would even it out. Anyway, so I wanted to discuss was the 73 likes and 1 dislike. Anyway, so people have asked about this one before, and obviously doing all this vintage O-ring stuff, and I can see the numbers that are coming through, and I know there's a lot of people that really do enjoy them, and I enjoy doing it because I've told you it's nice to look at stuff. It's nice to go ahead and take a look at the stuff. Aaron, I think it may have been you that left a comment and said, have you thought about comparing the O-rings to the classified ones? I think it was you that asked. I don't remember. And I haven't responded to the comment yet. And Ed actually brought it up too, but I do that with all of my classified reviews. So anytime I have a classified figure that I have the O-ring version, I compare it to that. So it seemed kind of odd doing a series where I'm comparing the classified to the O-ring. It's just kind of it's regurgitating it, because I'm not really going over the actual detail of the O-ring. I'm just kind of showing you, what's the same. So you'll see that in all the classified videos that I do. So doing it, I can see exactly, how they're doing. I would say for an actual figure, I'm getting anywhere from 150 to maybe 200 views. When it comes to the vehicles, I'm looking at anywhere between 200 to 300 views. Not huge for me. And again, yeah. So again, if you're new to the channel and new to the reviews that I'm doing, you can go back and look at a lot of those reviews. Now, I will say this. If you go back to some of the earlier ones, it's not going to be the greatest, because my review style, how I set the camera up, understanding wasn't as well as what I know now. But yeah, if you look at the classified ones, if I have the O-ring, that was the whole reason why I actually started doing videos. Was just because I had the originals and I could compare. Actually, I started comparing them to the Walmart figures. When the Walmart came out, I was comparing to the O-rings. And then when Classified came out, I said, why don't I just do it on this? And it was the one thing that I like to separate, because not everyone else is doing it. Honestly, I'm surprised no one else has caught on to do it. That's why I always have the O-ring figure in it. And I used to do more like with the. I used to do more with the thumbnails to try and show you that I was comparing them. And I just figured after a while, people already knew. I think people either they're watching me because they like me, or they just are going to tune out and they don't want to hear anything from me because they think I'm an asshole. They might be right. Ed says, I don't want your stupid classified reviews. I want the comparison in the vintage reviews. Kraft says, I still own some of those early Punkwood Toys reviews on VHS. All right, if somebody can put together a VHS tape and make it look like a Punkwood Toys review, like on and send that to me, that might be my new prized possession. All right, that's something that I would have, like a VHS tape and a nice little sticker on it. And you wouldn't have to put anything on it because guess what? I don't have a VHS tape to see, a VHS player. no VCR here. What's up, Big M? So anyway, doing this, and I know a lot of people. I guess it's always the same people. It's a lot of the same people. Same Time Toys, Viper Scout. That I know they're really enjoying it because it's just a way to go back in time to where we had again, I'll say it again, that bills weren't something we paid. There were people that we knew. So doing it, and again, I see the view, so I know it's not huge, but how many people are into like collecting vintage Star Wars? You got to think there's got to be some because they're still doing the vintage line that is supposed to. The vintage line goes with it, right? Or is the retro line? I don't know. They still do a line that meshes with the G.I. Joes. I'm saying with Star Wars. MOTU Origins, right? We've seen a lot of people that are now taking their vintage out of their display. Geek Dead Life had talked about it before. Jay from Geek Dead Life, he had talked about it before, where as an Origins figure comes in, he takes out the old one and packs it away so he doesn't have to worry about that, that figure getting ruined. We know they tried doing it with the O-rings, and Super 7 is still trying to do it. Mask is a perfect example. They're basically recreating Mask to fit in with your mask. So let's say you don't have a Rhino, but you have a couple other the masks. Now you can buy that and kind of throw it in there with your vintage. All right, so Clint Jorgensen says, what year is considered vintage pre-2000? That is a damn good question. I guess when I think of vintage, I still think of like 80s and early 90s. I would not, and I guess technically it is. I wouldn't consider the 95 Power of the Force vintage, but it's 30 years old. So technically it is vintage. But I don't consider that vintage because technically those were recreations of the vintage muscularity wise. But does anyone consider Power of the Force vintage? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really consider that to be vintage, probably because it's not a big collector's piece. Marvel, Toy Biz, like I said, Star Wars, obviously Mask, G.I. Joe O-rings. We have vintage Turtles. But how many of you guys are actually collecting still trying to piece together your vintage collections? Because I know that I'm still actively, not nearly as active, but I'm still actively trying to complete the O-ring line as much as possible. And I know that I'm never going to get to it. I'm probably never going to get a Defiant. There's a lot of other things I'll probably never get. Oh my God. Johnny Reno says, saw a 95 Honda Civic with historic vehicle plates. And Shark Guy says, Power of the Force came out last century. it is definitely a vintage line at this point in time. It is, but I don't think of it as vintage. Does that make sense? You're absolutely right. But again, who's collecting? Maybe Aaron the Toy Enhancer, because he really went down the Power of the Force line, and I saw it firsthand when I stayed at his house. So, hi, it's me jumping in here saying vintage simply means the year it was made. Feel free to ignore this. Okay. Old stuff. How about that? So is anyone still collecting stuff? I know Johnny Reno, he keeps sending me all this stuff, and I appreciate it. So I can't say, Johnny, you can't be collecting vintage stuff, right? I think you're all in on modern stuff. Shark Guy's here. You have an aircraft carrier, but that's because you won it. I don't think you are actively seeking an aircraft carrier, and I don't think you actively are collecting any of the O-ring stuff. Am I correct? I know what Ronnie Trickshot, he's not into the classified. Frostbite, Repro, he's collecting the vintage stuff. He doesn't really collect anything classified. Viper Scout, I know you have a classified collection, but aren't you more into the O-ring stuff? So Johnny, so you collect to fill holes, but if you keep sending me O-ring stuff, you're gonna have more holes over and over and over. And again, I don't want you to stop. I appreciate it. Viper Scout says, I like going to flea markets and antique shops and picking up stuff on the cheap, which is getting harder and harder, right? Because now people can just go on eBay and they can see how much it's worth. So you're not getting that anymore, which really sucks. That was always the fun. Finding something at a flea market or at a vintage shop that doesn't really focus on toys, but you find something that you're like, oh wow, look at this. This thing is just sitting here. And 3-star says, if it's a better example than my surviving childhood one. Oh, hold on. That 95 to 2000 stuff technically is vintage, but I don't view it that way. For me, it's 82 to 95 for Joe's. I don't collect it, but once in a while I'll pick up a figure. Yeah, I think Tony's the same way. I know Tony picked up, Lifeline. And I think because a lot of that, I guess because when we were picking up stuff, and maybe this will explain why we don't see that Power of the Force stuff as vintage, is because by the time we started picking it up, we're replacing the vintage. Like that vintage stuff is something out of our price point. This is something new. So yeah, I think maybe that's what it is. Viper Scout says, I picked up a Badger for $5 and found a bronze bomber marked as corpse for $3. Yeah, I guess I go into some other places and looking for stuff on the cheap, especially doing all this stuff. And Aaron says, I don't actively collect vintage anymore, but I'll buy the odd figure when I come across it. And I think that's what a lot of people do. There's not a lot of people that are collecting like the O-ring stuff. As I mentioned before, if I didn't have my childhood aircraft carrier and Terradrome headquarters, like Tomahawk, stuff like that, like if that wasn't my stuff as a kid, I'd probably sell it off. But I have an attachment to that stuff, and because I have an attachment to that keeps me wanting to have a 1/18th, 1/18th scale stuff. But if that wasn't mine, if that was something that I went and I had purchased later on in life, maybe when I was, in my early 20s, I think I would have no problem selling it off and saying, you know what, it's time to focus only on classified. Because truly that's what I like a lot more. Okay, well, Matthew, I understand the definition. Matthew just texted me saying I said it 3 times. I understand the definition. But a lot of us don't see it like that. All right? Because no one is collecting Power of the Force. All right? Maybe I should have been more specific. But if you are collecting Power of the Force, then say, yeah, I collected because it's vintage. Johnny Reno sent me a whole bunch of this shit. Johnny Reno sent me a whole bunch of it. And so Allison is saying, I collect Power of the Force too. Yeah, because we started a stupid line, a stupid thing. And 3-star says, now if I got a good deal on a flag appropriate for the condition, I'd buy it. Never had it, still a grail for me. I want one before I die, and I'll make it part of a display. And you know what? You could do that with a flag if you have the room. You could buy it and buy some sailors, which are shipwrecks. I have most of them. You know, a Sky Striker, a Conquest, you know, a Tomahawk, and you can put it on. And you could have just one display of that. You know, you could, those bigger pieces, the headquarters, the Terradrome, you know, you could just buy that and have it as a piece. Like, hey, I love the Terradrome, so now I have it filled with some O-ring figures, but I'm not actively collecting it. Aaron says, I have boxes of Power of the Force 2 toys in storage. So, Aaron, you're new to the channel, so I'm going to ask you, let me guess, you, like me and many, many, many others, bought probably at least 2 of each, one to open and one to keep because they were going to be worth so much money, like the original Star Wars figures. And now you realize you can go to any toy store and still buy them for the same amount or cheaper. Clint, by the time Operation Recall comes out, it will be vintage. Yes. I'm not gonna get started. I know Carson is a good guy. I don't think they're ripping us off. But for all that is fucking holy, why are you just showing me paint samples? I'm not even joking. All right. I know people, you know, it's funny that people, you know, they'll rag on other companies, but you're just showing us paint samples 3 years later. That is something that I would say is unacceptable. But we have to deal with it. I mean, yeah. By the time Joe Fest comes around, I think that'll be 3 years. Matthew, do you know when we when the Rock went to stock? Do you remember when Operation Recall came out? Operation Recall, then Call Sign Longbow came out right after. It was 3 years ago, if I am correct. So please let me know. You would know more than anyone. Maybe Matt or maybe Ed. Bees Battleground, my nemesis, jumping in here saying, "I'll pick up the characters I like, but don't go out of my way for the vintage stuff." But you do collect some 1/18 scale stuff, so you are definitely. I mean, I could see why you would. I think it's difficult. You know, there's been such a transition with collecting, where now, you know, again, other than the G.I. Joe stuff, I've looked at the mask stuff and I think it looks pretty cool, but I don't feel a need to purchase it. August 7, 20. So it hasn't actually been 3 years. We're closing in on it. And it'll be 3 years before we get them, right? I mean, there's none that are coming, right? I mean, Call Sign Longbow has released one figure. Was Call Sign Longbow or Call Sign Longbow was first, wasn't it? Maybe that's why. Do you remember what Call Sign Longbow was? I think they were first. Then Operation Recall waited like a month or two before they started it. And if I remember correctly, before that, it was Skeletron, because they kind of all went right in order. And since that time, this little company called Delta 17 was able to produce figures, get them in our hands, and they're already working on a second series. Whew. Hold on. How's my dog at? Should have said that because then he'll get all riled up. So anyway, who actively is collecting like older stuff? Let's say 80s, O-Ring, Star Wars, Mask, Turtles. We don't have turtle people here. Oh, the turtle people. Because I know there are some that are still, again, 118 is not the biggest. Again, so Viper Scout, I know, yeah, you are, and I know you have a fairly large collection, which I like what you're doing here. Well, Woody's out. Do we have turtle people here? And again, I don't even mean it as a bad thing. We don't talk turtles because I know nothing about them and they don't interest me. So I'm glad that there are turtle people here. Same with Ghostbuster people. I gotta say Ghostbuster people because I haven't seen Just Jeff in a while. But your Ghostbuster people really do not collect toys. They're cosplayers. I think most Ghostbusters people will say, "Fuck the toys. I wish they never made toys. Just give me cosplay." And Jeff is commenting in 3, 2, 1. God damn it. Jeff must not be listening. He'd be frantically typing right now. I like turtles. I'm sorry. And Hi It's Me says, I can't find any vintage toys at my local Target or Walmart. And Viper Scout says, my problem is I don't really focus on getting everything. I try to get stuff for customs or stuff on the cheap. Okay, so Call Sign Longbow was June 11th, 2022. Yeah. Because, yeah, it ended right before. I remember it ended right before. And Call Sign Longbow, or I'm sorry, Operation Recall gave it a little bit of time so people could have a little bit of money. Hey, Kyle, I'll answer you later on. Tell me what you're looking for. GI Bro gets first dibs because he hit me up first. Other than the Army Builders, I have all the original figures other than Bone Collector, the fake Airborne Condor, and the other bad guy because I sold them. Yeah, Trick Murphy, I have seen your bike collection. I know that we've talked about that. And we have Alex S. jumping in here. Evening, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Thank you very much. Like what Identity says, 25th anniversary isn't vintage, but it's the only 3 3/4 I actively collect before classified. Yeah, that stuff was really good. And I have no problem mixing this stuff. I know a lot of people won't mix it. I have no problem mixing the modern 4-inch figures with the O-ring stuff. It's close enough that it works and it fits with it. And Skeletron was November 13th. Is that when it ended? Did it end or is that when it started? I think it started then because wasn't December 2021 when the Sky Striker funded? Lawrence, you should send some some Action Force fix to Johnny Reno so he can use them as target at the range. That's a video I'd watch. Yeah, but I maybe you missed it. My car broke down, so I got to pay to get it fixed. So I'm more worried about that. Did it end? Man. How the hell did I afford that? Was the Sky Striker 2022 then? I don't even remember. I know I ordered a lot of stuff. Tristan T jumping in here. You'll Lawrence late to the chat, but just got back from work. Howdy, y'all. Great to have you here. MCR says Clone Wars could be considered vintage now, I believe. I still buy some of those figures. Okay, so I guess we're I guess I should have worded it wrong. But again, I'll say it again. Sometimes I come up with these ideas and they seem really good in my head, and then you realize it's hard to argue something or debate something when it comes to the topic when you're alone. And it's the Action Figure Addict saying, Punk is right. The Ghostbusters is mostly cosplayer, a local Ghostbuster group I cosplay with didn't have any interest in backing the Ecto 1, but they all backed the two in the box HasLab. You're talking about the Proton Pack and then the Trap, right? Wow. So they ended the same. God damn, how did I afford both of those? How did I afford both of those at Christmas time? Crap. Why didn't Hasbro launch starting line of Gundy Morning 2-pack? Could have saved the line. Dude, that would have been so awesome. That would have been so awesome. Just Van Gundy on his leg. Oh man, you'll never ever. Man. That was awesome. Roman is over there. You want to see? Roman, come here. Come here. Come up here. Say hi. Right there. Say hi. Sit down. Sit down behind me, all right? So everyone can see you. I'm not doing that right now. We'll do it after. We got 15 minutes. If I have more than 15 minutes. Holy shit. I only have to go to midnight, right? Bjorn Jacob, I don't think I've ever seen this name. Matthew, tell me if I've ever seen this name before. I tried to collect the O-Ring Joe stuff I'm still missing for my childhood collection. And that's how I feel. Like that's the only reason why I have it is because I still have so much of my other stuff, which I absolutely do love. And again, I love going back and getting that. Like, I love looking at the detail. That's why I love doing those vintage reviews. Again, I don't know if you're the classic reviews is what I call them. I don't know if you're watching them. Man, seeing the detail and the love that they put into it. I don't think you get the same love when it comes to like the Star Wars stuff, do you? He says you didn't afford both of them. You just bought them. I don't think you're talking to me. And Tony's Figs gifted 5 Punk memberships. So you get a, where's it at here?
Welcome to the Creamery.
And they went to Lone Dragon, Same Time Toys, One-Eyed Biker, Fumbling Through the Galaxy. Man, look at all these people that are not members. What is wrong with you guys? Don't you guys all want to be on Punk's Pit? Thank you, Tony, very much. I appreciate it. Rowdy Riles, you're late. Howdy, y'all. You've been in earlier lately. So, anyway, I think I'm tapped out on the topic. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys think? What do you think they're going to show off tomorrow? How about that? Graf says, I just grabbed a Grayskull Club. I have no money left. Johnny, because you sent me all those vintage figures.
Fucking Phil Collins.
Graf, I talked about this last week. I have no problem spending $50 on the Hasbro Pulse membership because you get free shipping. You do get things early, believe it or not. You will get things a little bit earlier. I don't understand why we're paying. Well, I'm not. Why people are paying? Why people have to pay? And I understand why you're paying it because you want the figures, but I don't understand why they're like, "Hey, here's $10 so you can order figures," and you don't really get anything. Very disappointing. Give them something. Honestly, give them something. Rowdy says, "I got some X-Men and some Jada Cyberpunk coming. I'm excited about that." And we'll hit it real quick.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
3-star with the 277 for the Strut Fund. Get your ass to Joe Fest. Believe it or not, I've already asked my boss if they'd let me drive the my company work van. Not that I want to because it's not the most comfortable thing, but it might be. And again, it's not like I haven't. Well, my car's a 2017, but I put a lot of miles on it before we got company vehicles. But it still has to be fixed because it's only a 2-seater. So I still have to be fixed so I can drive multiple people around like kids. Matthew says no HasLab this year, 80% sure. Well, we will see. We will see. I mean, it's a bold strategy not to have a HasLab. I think that's a mistake not to have a HasLab for Joe. They've all done very well. But if they don't have anything to do, if they don't think anything, or if they're worried about having people being mad that you're going to have 2 of them, you funded 2 and, or you funded one, you're funding another one before the first one, not the first one, but the third one's come. I can understand that. Rowdy says, I've got a toy show right in my backyard. The end of this month is literally in the middle of nowhere, though. So that's why is there a toy show? I mean, and again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Just wondering why is it like in your backyard in the middle of nowhere? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. I love dodgeball. All right. Pop Leonard says, Punk, you could have War Chest fly you down to Joe Fest if the car is. How is War Chest gonna fly me down to Joe Fest? Does he have his own private plane that he's gonna come pick me up? Let's see here. Thunder Machine here. Tony wants to know. That Thunder Machine is eventually going to come. There is no way that they're going that deep with and again, you know this. Tony and I talk more than enough. Again, I still think that it is. I think it should be a HasLab. Again, all your HasLabs don't have to be $300. They could do a $200 one. Again, with nice tiers. And again, I've told you, you give different engines to pop on there, different front ends, different guns. So you can have something different. We know most of the people would try and just make it look classic. And that, again, we can go down that one again, that people, the Joe collectors just want everything to be absolutely classic. Patrick is jumping in here. Hey, Punk, just dropping in to leave a like. Lots of life stuff. Keep up the good fight. Hey, I was looking for you talking about vintage stuff here, and you weren't here. Because I know you still collect a lot of the O-ring stuff. Like you still have a lot of, I think you still have the O-ring stuff. I know you collect 1/18 scale only. But I understand. I definitely understand. We all have a lot of stuff going on in our lives. So the fact that you're able to stop in and support me, that means everything to me. Again, I can only express that so much. Yeah, Aaron, yeah, the Dreadnoughts definitely need a vehicle. But so does the Iron Grenadiers. I do think that's coming. I do believe the Iron Grenadier. I do think Destro with his is it the Despoiler? I was really out of G.I. Joe by then. So because when that leak list came up, Chris McLeod had a look on his face. Chris McLeod said, "I can't confirm that one yet," which told me everything. And he said there is a vehicle that they have not announced yet that I know what it is. And he said that later on in the stream. But when he said, I can't confirm that one yet, told me everything that I needed to know. Ken Best says, haven't we pretty much seen everything? I can only think of the ninjas and the Ostriker for the remaining reveals. And that's okay. But they have a tendency to show off other things that we didn't know that were coming. They usually show us at least 2 digital renders. They usually give us 2 they're not pipeline. What do they call them? Name only reveals. I'm hoping they just show us something new. I don't think yet. Because you know what? We haven't seen any of the leaks with actual paint on them yet. But they have announced it, right? Did they announce before? Or was it just the leaks? So I mean I could see a digital render of Battle Armor Cobra Commander. Like that's like the worst kept secret. I don't think that we're gonna see Cold Slither yet. They showed us the box. But I can't imagine they would have the box done. And if the figures were that close that they would have shown them off. But maybe they will. I would assume that they're going to show that off. They'll probably do a stream at San Diego Comic-Con where we're going to show that off. That would be my guess, right?
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Pop Blender with the $5 super chat saying, if you ask War Chest real nice, he might pick you up in his plane and fly you to Joe Fest. Just don't make fun of his grammar. So, quickly here, SCS Dog says, V4 announced Battle Armor Coco. Okay. I couldn't remember. There's so many leaks and everything. So, one of my early jobs, like first real job, the owner was a pilot. I think I've told this story before. The owner was a pilot. Again, I live in Michigan. We had clients he created this medical software. And so they had a big client in Miami. Only time I've been to Miami. But they needed someone to go to possibly run some cable. Matter of fact, if I remember, when I got there, I had nothing to do because these people had already run everything, or I ran it and I was done. So I sat there for like 3 days doing nothing. But then he was a pilot. So he flew his plane. It was a 3-person plane. And they used to fly to New Jersey. But my boss was like, be careful. He puts it on autopilot and he goes to sleep. And I was like, ha, I thought they were all laughing. So anyway, he picked me up at like 6 a.m. We go to the Detroit airport, not the main airport, Detroit airport is a much smaller airport. And we fly out. And I have the headset on because I'm technically the co-pilot. But if this guy dies, I'm dead. And as we're flying, I would say we're about the bottom of Ohio. And the reason why I know this, if I remember correctly, when you're crossing state lines, that's when they kind of reach out to you because you're crossing a state line, and I think that's where the traffic air controlman. I might be completely wrong. And I remember hearing them call, like they were calling for him because I knew our call sign. But he doesn't answer. No, he has sunglasses on. And here we're dropping. And I'm flying. I'm looking. I'm like, dude, he's not answering. I'm like, is he asleep? And I hear the call sign again. I'm like, Joe. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, they're calling for us. He's like, oh. And the third time I hear them call, there's like concern in their voice. And then he answers them. Boom. Okay, all good. So now again, this is much, on one of these planes is much slower than an actual commercial flight. So now the rest of the flight, I am paranoid as shit. Now I would go to sleep. Now I can't go to sleep because I'm scared this guy's going to go to sleep and we're going to die. So as we're flying in, this is the first time I'd actually. Well, I guess we drove through it. I guess we drove through Georgia when I was a kid to Florida. We're flying in, and he's like, do you want to land in? He goes, do you want to land in the Georgia airport and refuel, or try and make it into Jacksonville? He goes, if the wind is with us, we can probably glide in. I go, when we land in Jacksonville, is that where we're staying? Oh, no, we still have to refuel to get to Miami. And I went, why don't we land here, Joe? And he's like, okay. I'm not a big fan of flying in personal planes. The only two times that I flew was that, and then when we took off again. So we landed in Atlanta, and then we took off again. I got to fly commercial back because they had to stay longer to do more work. So that kind of scares me if he is an actual pilot. Sonic Fighters, Kimberlin jumping in here. Snake Eyes version 4 was announced as Wave 20 was. We technically haven't seen Wave 19 in hand. You have to blow tire. Yeah, and I have a feeling we're going to see all that stuff, Jeremy. Oh, you do have a plane. It worries me. And then you'd have to fly me back. But I'm not saying I'm completely against it. So I'm not sure how far is the Augusta airport? Anyway. Yeah, Grab, good old Ohio. I got Matthew's a fucking karate expert, a ninja, a fucking pilot, a doctor. What aren't you, Matthew? Oh, you're not a plastic expert. I am a plastic expert, along with my nemesis, Bees Battleground. And just so you know, I did not gloss myself a plastic expert. I was told I'm a plastic expert, so that way I know. And I didn't even have to dig my fingernail into an action figure to be called one. Hi, it's me. The bottom of Ohio. Is that the whole thing? Ohio is butt. That's it. The border of Ohio and Kentucky. I guess that's how I should say it. Is that what it is? Yeah, because that's where everyone flies into Augusta, because they all have to fly in. I think a lot of them fly into South Carolina and then take a a small charter flight out. Is that how it went? Yeah. Anyway, we all have fingernails to be plastic we all have fingernails to be plastic authorities. Yeah, authority, but not an expert. There is a big difference, okay? And Bobby B and myself were personally named as plastic experts, okay? And who am I to deny all of you? I never claimed to be a plastic expert till I was told that I was, and that's like becoming, the master tech at my work or the field, the senior field engineer. I was told, you are now the senior field engineer. I was told I'm a plastic expert. So who am I to deny people who make toys? Although, Tony, I'm not going to lie. The fingernail thing was hilarious. I don't want to dig. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to dig into my toys with my fingernail to say that it's good plastic. All right? Again, I don't really think I dig into this. So I think that's actually pretty good. So,
Welcome to the Creamery.
And Pop Blender has gifted 1 Punk membership, and it went to Alti66. Now, I gotta say, Matthew, has Alti66 ever made a comment here? I can't even think of Alti66 ever making a comment on any of my videos. Not that it matters. All you have to do is come into the show. So welcome. Great to have you. And thank you to all the guys that donated memberships, the super chats. It's greatly appreciated. Hi, it's me says, wait, you're the senior field engineer of Plastics International Worldwide. Congrats. Yes, I'm actively working to make sure that toys can be made here in the USA, preferably in the Metro Detroit area, considering we have everything. You did it twice. You retracted one. Remember, I can still see it when you retract stuff. Just the chat can't see it. Anyway, that's 3 hours. We got through it pretty quick. Normally we don't get through things this quickly. And sometimes 3 hours can be hard. I'm sorry, it's been a long time, but
That's what she said.
If you're watching Jack Reacher, if you're watching Reacher, there is a very good, funny, there is a very good line that comes up in there. Chaz the Guru is saying, where did no HasLab rumor come from? It came from It's Chad. I don't want to not say his name because he gets mad if you don't say his name. But It's Chad had a video saying that the rumor is that there is no HasLab this year. He put out a video. So you can go and watch it and agree or disagree. I don't really know. I have no insight on if there is a HasLab or not. I think it's a mistake not to because of how well they have all sold. But maybe they're going to switch to something. I think they might switch to something that is made to order. And the mass device would be the perfect thing. Why are you doing all these figures if you're not going to do a mass device? But I am kind of in the camp that the mass device isn't HasLab worthy. But made to order at a cheaper price, like they've done with some of the Marvel Legends and some of the Star Wars stuff, I think that's a smart idea. There's not a cat that no, there's not another reference to that yet. There's only a reference in the episode he drinks it, and then there's another reference later on, which was the last episode that everyone could have seen. Go watch Talking Reacher if you're not over at the Coalition. Had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. All right, so let's do the housekeeping. Tomorrow, the fan stream is at 11 Eastern Standard Time, the only time that really matters. 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will be on for our new show, Circle of Jerks, with Baldy, the Island Viper, and Spec. Now we go to about 8 o'clock. We will be done by 9 no matter what, because I've already told them that I will not overlap with my moderators. Nor do I want to be on that much because I'm already on here for 3 hours. At 9 p.m. Over on Action Fig's channel, you can catch him and Mr. Wonderful, where they talk more about independent toys. And then Pop Blender and Matthew start at 10 p.m. I'm sure they will talk a little bit about all the reveals, but they don't only talk toys. They talk about a lot of pop culture. This Thursday, I didn't even say. This Thursday with a Friend, will be Kayla Silver. Now, if you guys don't know who Kayla is, she has not been around very much. If you watched Geek Dead Life or Toy Anxiety, you would have seen her there a good amount. If you've watched a lot of the Clubhouse, she used to come on the Clubhouse a lot. She has not been on social media or YouTube very much as of recently. She is going to be my guest. She's so gracious to join me when she's really not doing it. I've talked to Kayla before because we've been on stream, but I've never talked to her one-on-one other than going and doing some voice notes back and forth, where she's a trip. She is someone who will say just about anything. I sometimes think that maybe that's how my daughter is going to end up. But I'm looking forward to actually sitting down and talking with Kayla. So please tune in this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Friday, I believe I'm supposed to be on a show with... Who am I supposed to be on with? I'm doing a show with someone. Dave's Dimension, and I can't think of his name. Anyway, I'll be live, and then after that, I think I'm going to pull back a little bit because, man, I've been on way too much. So you probably won't see me on the Clubhouse again. I just need to decompress on the weekends, considering, like I said, Sunday we are filming Talking Reacher. It's fun, but, man, it becomes a lot of work. Hi, it's me says, Thursday with a Friend is a great watch. If you're not checking them out, you missing out. Thank you very much. I've said this before. I know that this is the bigger show of mine. This is what most people tune in for. I am way more proud of Thursday with a Friend. The way that it's evolved. When we first started doing it, it took people a little bit of time to figure out we're not talking about the news or anything. And Matthew did a wonderful job. I don't like having to say, hey, we're not here to talk about this, because it seems kind of rude and you're trying not to be rude. Matthew did a wonderful job of kind of letting everyone say, hey, you know what? That's not what the show is about. He'll be back on Monday. Matter of fact, there was one guy, remember, we told him and he was like, okay, that's cool, I'm out. Like, wasn't rude about it. He was like, okay, that's not what he was here for, and that was perfectly fine. Yeah, the show should be called Baldy Fox. I will bring it up to him. I'm not a big fan of Circle of Jerks, but that was what they wanted to go with. I don't really care, but one day I might not be bald. Although the way this hairline is, I'm not sure I'm ever going to let my hair grow out again. The hairline and the bald spot make me say, I don't think I should try and grow hair again. But Thursday with a Friend, as it has, as it has evolved, it is the thing that I am more proud of. Considering that people feel that at ease to talk to me about suicide, cancer, their loved ones. I recently did one, and the person hit me up like a couple of days later, and he said, "You know what? Thank you very much. This was something that I needed, and I didn't even realize that I needed to talk about it," which is absolutely awesome. Because my whole idea of Thursday with a Friend, and I know I've said this before, but there's 69 people, and there's people that probably never heard of it. Rowdy here is saying, I try to catch whenever it's live on your channel when I see it. Rowdy's new. Thursday with a Friend all started from me watching Geek Dead Life and Toy Anxiety and seeing these people in the chat and wondering who they are and thinking that they have pretty big channels. Like I thought Highly Articulated and Brick something and like Thanos Copter, that they had these big channels, and really Thanos really doesn't even have a real channel. Like he doesn't really put too much out on it. And Brick and Highly Articulated both are like two guys that are working their way up. But I always wonder, looking at people in the chat, like what is their story? Like I can sit here and I can look and be like, hey, what is Rowdy Ryle's story? She's someone that I just recently, we were on a show together and she was awesome. She reached out to me and she was like, hey, it was great being on a show with you and having somebody that had a different perspective, and you came in and then we just started chatting, and now she's in here and it's awesome. But, it's like that, I have had War Chest on and Tony and Viper, and the only thing that I say about my Thursday with a Friend is that I can't talk to an avatar for hours. You have to be someone who's willing to come on, and not everyone's willing to come on. Not everyone wants to. But just to allow people to get to know somebody and it be something that somebody can go back and watch later on. Someone can go back and watch War Chest. They have to go to the 45-minute mark because he showed up late, but they have to go to the 45-minute mark. They can tune in and find out about Tony and Viper Scout. And to be honest, the Tony one, that was the second one that I did. So eventually I'm going to have to start going back and talking to people again and seeing, hey, you know what? Where have you come from? And because, again, my ability to talk to people will be my ability to talk to people and walk them through the questions I want has gotten better, I think. Because I know what I need. I don't have to read a script anymore. It's just a conversation. And they went from like an hour and a half to fucking 4 hours. I don't know how that happened. But, yeah. So I'm very proud of that. So, hi, it's me. Thank you very much for saying that. Like I said, I'm so proud of that. Because it's done wonder. I mean, I just love it. I really do. It's the easiest show for me to do because I just sit back and yeah, Tony, I don't think I'm gonna have Ray Paz or Hal Jordan on, but yeah. And More just says, if I had been on time, we could have talked about flying. But anyway, let's get out of here. And look, Rowdy's like, I would go on if he invited me for sure. Everyone wants to come on. And believe me, I'm working my way. I'm honestly booked all the way into June. So I'm already starting to think of who I want to ask to come on in June. I've never had a repeat guest. That's what I've been trying to avoid. But I do want to eventually start to go back to once a month revisiting someone from the earlier days to talk to them again and see where things have changed. Viper Scout says, new show Wednesday with an enemy. I'm not gonna lie, that one could easily, I could get probably about 3 to 4 months right now out of that one. I could probably get about 3 to 4 months out of that fairly easily. And that's just the people that I know that don't like me. And I've had some people turn me down. They're just not interested in it. So, again, there will be some invites going out because I have to start filling out June. I have to figure out how I'm going to do June. But yeah, as of now, I have the next 2 months, and this month already. This month already settled. Lone Dragon says, I watched Lawrence versus Neum, Olivia versus Dex undercard. Okay. I don't. Dex is like, again, he's a kid, and they're off limits, but he wouldn't stand a chance against Olivia. Yeah, Thursday with the Nemesis that is B's Battleground, and that's because there was an actual story about the Nemesis thing. All right, so yeah. Oh man, look, Jeff, I totally went off trying to get you out, talking about how Ghostbuster guys could care less about the Ghostbuster toys. All they care about is cosplaying, and you were nowhere to be found. I was very disappointed. And BX Medic jumping in and saying, "Hey Punk, just letting you know, love your show. It's always great to see you live. I enjoy it. Keep up the great work." Thank you very much. But I'm going to get out of here because I do have to work in the morning. And I have a show at 6:30, and we have to watch G.I. Joe. And this mustache is bugging the fucking shit out of me. So I'm actually going to go shave it, or at least trim it. Not shave it. I'm going to trim it. I don't know how you guys with big beards can actually do it. This is driving me fucking nuts. It also doesn't help me. And I'm trying to grow the goatee back in, and it's taking too long, and I look fucking like a sorry sack of shit. Anyway. I am going to get out of here. Thank you guys all for joining me. Tune in tomorrow, 6:30 p.m., where it's going to be 4 bald fucks talking about the G.I. Joe live stream. Take care.